Huskies. What do we know about this ball club? Frankly, I haven't seen a lot of film. What do we know about the Huskies?
Well, they're sitting at 2-4, and I think that's a little bit of an illusion. This is a pretty good ball club. They've been in a lot of close games. They're not they're not talented like some of the teams we've played so far, but they've got a running back as good as anybody we've seen. He's outstanding. Carter Whitson is the first-year head coach here, and Carter played at Oklahoma, grew up in Broken Arrow. His dad was the coach at Broken Arrow for a while back.
Yeah, he's got some good lineage.
In the day. Yeah, and Carter's a really good coach. He'd been at Putnam City for a few years when we actually played them in our district. And, he's very creative offensively, and he gives them a lot of opportunity. And their quarterback is a veteran, and they haven't surrounded him with a lot of outstanding receivers, but they're dangerous. And I think their offense is a little better than their defense, but they can be effective and certainly can move the ball.
Well, Coach, if history tells us anything, it's that the Owasso Rams are really good in the month of October, going 24-2 during your tenure here at Owasso. What is that philosophy you have for always moving forward and always improving together as one unit?
Well, I think it's a number of things, Jared. We have always embraced a tough schedule. We think that that's just, if you're going to make a run in the playoffs and give yourself opportunity to win championships, you've got to learn to play at a high level, even if that means you find out early that you've got a long ways to go. And so I think playing a tough schedule. I think the other thing is we are a process-oriented program. We're not trying to peak out and to have our whole offense and defense installed. And, in week 2, we want to get it done and be constantly moving forward. And I think that are doing a pretty good job of that. I think we're an improving team still. I don't think we've come anywhere close to our max. But, that's what teams do if they're going to make a run late.
And finally, Coach, what is tonight's Church pathway to victory?
I think this is being our first trip down the turnpike, Jared. It's really vital that we get off to a fast start. I mean, we've got to get going, and we've got to bring our own energy, bring our own juice. And because of that, I think it's, we don't want to get into a slog. We don't want to be just slugging around with these guys. They don't go fast on offense. They're very methodical in what they try to do. They try to shorten the game. And we need to get out in front and dictate the tempo. And if we could do that, I think that would really be the pathway to victory.
That is your Church pathway to victory. Pathway Church meets every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock at First Bank of Owasso on 86th Street and Garnett. Coach Blankenship, thanks so much for the time, and best of luck tonight.
All right, my friend. Let's get a good one.
That is Owasso head coach Bill Blankenship. More to follow after this on the Duralast Roofing Specialist pregame show.
Support for Owasso Rams comes from the Oklahoma National Guard. You are eligible to join the Guard as early as 17 years old in your junior year. For working just 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks in the summer, serving your community, you earn 100% tuition and fees for your entire bachelor's and master's degrees or certifications for a skilled trade. There is also currently a $20,000 sign-on bonus, monthly paycheck, health care and retirement options, and much more. To learn about becoming a citizen soldier, text GUARD to 462-769 or call specialist Garen Patrick at 918-855-0213.
All right. Well, good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth here on the campus of Edmond North High School in Edmond, Oklahoma. Jared Gallagher and Steve Bowery with you here this evening to bring you all the action of Owasso Ram football. This is the Duralast Roofing Specialist pregame show, and we are so excited that you're here with us here tonight. So I welcome in my partner, Steve Mowry. Steve, first of all, thanks for driving. I appreciate that very much. It was a great drive, you and I, and It's always more fun when you take the turnpike down with a friend.
Well, that is true, and we'll just say we made good time coming down here tonight. Maybe didn't get here quite as early as we thought, but it was a good drive and a beautiful day, Jared.
Man.
Really, I've been telling people all day, this is the weather that we've been looking for. It is really football weather here tonight, and you and I down on the field earlier could actually feel that. It had to break out the hoodies, the long sleeves, and it should be just an absolutely gorgeous evening. Slight breeze coming in out of the north on this beautiful campus here at Edmond North High School.
It is a beautiful night. It's wild. It's like we blinked and all of a sudden it's football weather. So glad to have that in the atmosphere, and glad that the Owasso Rams have a lot of confidence going into tonight's game after last week's 55-3 victory over the Mustang Broncos, improving their record to 3-2 on the season. The Edmond North Huskies coming in with a record of 2 wins and 4 losses. They have one extra game on the year because they have not yet had their bye week for the regular season. That will be coming up here shortly for them. But nonetheless, the Rams coming in with a lot of confidence here tonight, Steve, capped off by the fact that historically this has been a fairly lopsided, at least of late, with the addition of Coach Bill Blankenship over the last 7 years. It's been fairly lopsided in favor of the Owasso Rams against the Edmond North Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, since Coach B's been here at Owasso, he's never lost to the Huskies. And, I mean, we've been able to successfully put points on the board against Edmond North historically. And really, with this high-powered offense, you would look for the Rams to be able to have another successful evening here on the offensive side especially. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you look at that. Just going down some of the margins of victory in the last 6 years. Owasso defeating Edmond North at Owasso last year, 30-16, and that's the closest that the Huskies have been in the last 6 years. Just absolutely dominating, averaging 33 points in margin of victory per game against the Huskies. But, it's a district game, and you kind of have to throw all of that out, especially this year because the Huskies, despite their record of 2-4, have had a pretty high-powered offense this season, and that is really led by their running back, Dev Matthews, who's averaging 180 yards per game on the ground and 8 touchdowns so far this season through just 3 games of stats that I was able to find, but very much more developed offensively than what we've seen in years past.
Yeah, the Rams are going to have to be sharp defensively. They're going to have to be very aggressive here tonight, this is one of those games you can't let Edmond North get any momentum or any confidence here in the early going, because you look at some of the games that they've played. I mean, they really put points on the board. They've scored 55, 48, and they have an offense that if it gets rolling, they can gain some momentum and be a problem. And defensively, though, they've struggled there a bit. They give up a lot of points, henceforth a couple of losses that they've had. So the Rams should be able to move the football effectively against the Husky defense.
You would absolutely hope so. We will take a 3-minute timeout, a Saho Animal Hospital timeout at this time for our national anthem. More to come after this on the Duralast Roofing Specialist pregame show.
Are you tired of living with the discomfort of neuropathy? Find relief today with Restoration Chiropractic.
Hey, it's Dr. Bryce with Restoration Chiropractic. My wife, Dr. Allie, and I are Owasso High School graduates and proud to bring our practice back to our hometown. Don't let neuropathy hold you back. Our neuropathy protocol uses state-of-the-art technology to help neuropathy all without the use of medications or surgery.
Experience the difference at Restoration Chiropractic. Schedule your consultation today and take the first step toward a pain-free life. Call 918-212-0084.
The Blitz 1170 is the home of the Morning Blitz with Rick Corey from 6 to 9 a.m. Dan Patrick, 9 to noon. Rich Eisen, noon to 3. And taking you home from 3 to 6 p.m. is the show with Colby Daniels and Jeremy Poplin. Don't miss your favorite local news and stories with big-name guests mixed in between. If it happens in Oklahoma, we have it covered. The Blitz 1170, streaming live on the Blitz 1170 app.
Guide your student toward financial empowerment and self-reliance with a free student account at Communication Federal. It's a credit union account made for teens and tweens with a free Visa debit card, no account fees, a free ATM network, and plenty of real-world branches nearby. With CFCU student accounts, mom or dad can easily manage it all from the app or online banking. Open a free student checking account from Communication Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply, subject to credit union approval, federally insured by NCUA.
When it comes to supporting the Owasso community, nobody does it like State Farm agent Casey Miller. For the last 5 years, Casey has been a good neighbor to Owasso families with affordable insurance and friendly service, even when the unexpected happens. Bundle your auto, home, and life insurance for even more savings. And be sure to say hello when you see her out supporting the Rams and Lady Rams this season. Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Casey Miller is there.
Hello, Ram Nation. Coach Blankenship here. We're proud to have a winning tradition here in Owasso, both on the field and off. And as we strive for excellence, our partners at Jim Glover strive for excellence also. That's why they're Oklahoma's highest-rated Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram dealer. Their unwavering commitment to always offer the largest selection at Oklahoma's best prices is unmatched. Plus, their standard of excellence in customer service after the sale is the best of the best. So when you need a vehicle, head to Jim Glover Dodge and tell them Coach B sent you.
Nice. Nice is the opposite of Monday. Nice lets you merge onto a crowded highway. Nice is Christian Brothers Automotive, where incredibly friendly people, extra clean service space, and a waiting courtesy car make all the difference. Drive into Christian Brothers for a brake or service check today. Keeping your family safe? Now that's nice. Christian Brothers Automotive. Nice difference.
For a nice difference, visit Ray Adcock at Christian Brothers Automotive in Owasso at 96th Street and Garnett.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth as we are moving along here in our Duralast Roofing Specialist pregame show. Jared Gallagher and Steve Mowry alongside you here this evening, a beautiful evening in Edmond, Oklahoma, on the campus of Edmond North High School. Steve, a balmy 62 degrees, and as we see the American flag walk back, it is a fairly stout north wind blowing across the field at field level. There's not really any facilities. There's a big track around the field, so there's not many facilities to block that wind, you know, like, say, at Union or even at Owasso or something like that. So, you know, maybe less swirling wind, more straight line here, and it's coming straight out of the north.
Yeah, there isn't anything to block it out here. This campus is placed on kind of on the north side of Edmond, Jared, and we have a beautiful view here from this press box, looking out over toward the east. Just a lot of trees and some rooftops, but I mean, for the most part, you feel like you're out in the country somewhat, and it's a beautiful area, but nothing to block this wind. Maybe running around 17, 18 miles an hour coming straight out of the north, so that may be an interesting part of the game. We look at the Edmond North band down on the field and the drill team holding the flags down there. They are really whipping toward that south end zone, so that may be an issue that coaches need to be aware of.
And Steve, as the captains are making their way toward the 50-yard line, let's revisit this game from last year. A year ago tomorrow, actually, was this game between the Rams and the Huskies, and that was a point, Steve, in the season for the Owasso Rams. I mean, coming in at 1-4, you had just lost your starting quarterback at Mustang the week prior, and, you know, Tyler Cavanis comes in. He played a lot of that Mustang game because I think it was maybe late in the first half or early in the second half that Mason Willingham went down. But he played some of that half, but really made his first ever varsity start against these Huskies and was able to lead the Rams to a victory.
Yeah, it was a very managed game for him. The Owasso Rams kept things simple, and Jared, that was, you mentioned coming in at 1-4. A lot of questions about that Owasso Ram offense at that time. We had lost Cole Adams in that first game, and that completely changed the dynamic of what the Rams could do offensively. Mason Willingham had taken over, and we were just beginning to find our identity, but we were 0-2 in district at that time, lost to Union and Mustang, and so that was a critical turning point of the season, and Tyler Cavanis came in, and I thought he performed admirably and led the Rams to a 30-16 victory over Edmond North, even threw a touchdown pass in that game. That was a 40-yard touchdown to Anthony Hills, and so he did a great job keeping the Rams in the district race, because that was what we called the make or break game at that point.
Absolutely.
As to whether not what place the Rams were going to be in district, but if they were going to make the playoffs. So it was a key game last year, and that's really part of the reason for the closeness of the score. But coaches did a great job of keeping the game plan within Tyler Cavaniss' ability. Not that he doesn't have great ability, but
that's a tough situation to come into as a backup quarterback at that time, and frankly a different style quarterback than what Mason Willingham was at that time, to come in and be able to manage that offense and lead them to a multi-touchdown victory, a 2-touchdown victory in a spot that you had to have a win there, because at that point you're looking at playoff hopes. Forget the district race. You're looking at playoff hopes at that time, staring at 1-5 in the face. And so, really kudos to Tyler Cavaniss for getting that job done, and the entire team for getting that job done. And fast forwarding 364 days, we're now in a position where, goodness gracious, a couple more victories, and you feel totally different about this season than what you did at this point last year.
Well, it's hard to believe we're already at Game 6, and we talk about the gauntlet. The first 5 games, you're playing basically the top 5 teams in Class 6A1. Not that the backside isn't something you have to be aware of, but it's not as formidable as going into, especially knowing what you have at this point. Now, obviously, we can't have the performance that we had against Bixby and Union, but then last week the Rams turn around and turn it on, and they can explode. They have that type of explosive ability. That's the team we hope to see here tonight, and that they get off to a fast start.
It very much has been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde type season, if you want to look at it that way, Steve. And, frankly, a lot of those issues have been self-inflicted, especially if you look at that Union game. I mean, just frankly, too many mistakes to be able to compete at that high level in a hostile environment like that at Union High School. This a little bit of a different situation, and what we talked about with Coach Blankenship earlier in the Duralast Roofing Specialist pregame show, he wants to get out to a fast start. He wants to put it on him early and be able to kind of ride that momentum and hopefully, maybe get some of those second, third teamers in. Number one, to keep your first teamers healthy, but number two, I mean, that's invaluable experience anytime you can get those younger guys some experience in district play late in the or midway through the season.
Absolutely. We keep talking about having these young players stepping up, which they are, but we've got some juniors and seniors that they're stepping up as well. You can't just hang your hat on younger players coming up. They've got to grow up, and I think this team has the ability to make a run similar to last year to a state championship game. A lot of parity in Class 6A1 right now, Jared, when you look at Bixby on top, Union, Owasso, Jinx. Over here on this side, they still think Mustang and Edmond Santa Fe, a couple of ball clubs to be aware of.
And that's a game to watch here tonight as well, because Mustang and Edmond Santa Fe are playing each other here tonight.
Yeah, so this is gonna be the beginning of what cleans up this district.
100%, absolutely, Steve. As we start to take a look at our Jersey Mike's uniform report, the Owasso Rams have come out onto the field, and we are waiting for the Edmond North Huskies to take the field. But why don't you take it away for the Owasso Jersey Mike's uniform report?
Well, Jared, these are my favorite uniforms right here. They remind me of that team down in Norman. You say Alabama. But I love these icy whites with the white jerseys, red numerals, and the white pants with the double red stripe down the side, and then the traditional red Ram helmet and the white horns. I mean, that's just a really nice, clean look coming out here tonight. I believe we will see Norman North in their school colors, blue and silver. They will be in blue jerseys with white numbers, blue pants, and then the white helmet with the North Star Inn on the side.
As we are waiting for them to come out onto the field, that is your Jersey Mike's uniform report. Today's uniform report brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs in Owasso. To be the best, you've got to eat the best. That's Mike's way. Visit Jersey Mike's in Owasso, proud supporters of Owasso Ram football. And Steve, as we move along to our Pathway Church Pathway to Victory, again, as we mentioned, Coach Blankenship wants to get off to a fast start here tonight. For you, what would you be happy with seeing? Obviously a victory, but what do the Owasso Rams need to do to get there tonight?
Well, Jared, we talk about the common things, kind of like Wheel of Fortune, the common letters that, you can't do mistakes and turn over. Yeah, the common. But the more detailed things are going to be, they've got to get off to a fast start. And I really feel like, Jared, the defense can set the tone here tonight. They've got to stop Edmond North. They don't do a lot through the air. They like to establish the run game, and they like to have long runs in the run game, so they'll be strong up front. But the Ram defense, their mantra this year has been they're either playing on their heels, which has really ended up in disaster for them twice. But when they're on their toes, this defense is a state championship caliber defensive team here tonight. I think the defense, and it all starts with Kel Pennington. He's the headhunter there at linebacker. Defensive line can make plays. He's got help in the secondary. Kel Pennington's the guy that's got to set the tone tonight. And usually, if he comes in and pops a couple of guys early on, that slows that first step down a bit.
Yeah, definitely the front seven. I mean, you look at Trey Hall and Kel Pennington and Lyric Wheeler, and so many of those guys up front can really have the opportunity to set the tone here tonight. Pathway Church focuses on discipleship and spiritual growth through community involvement and loving humanity. Visit Pathway Church every Sunday at 10 a.m. at First Bank of Owasso on 86th Street and Garnett. We are just about a minute and a half away from kickoff here. The Edmond North Huskies have taken the field. And, Steve, any final thoughts before we get started here?
Well, you know, the Rams have been fortunate this year to come out really healthy, and through most of these games, the standard bumps and bruises. Deuce Chalk has been working a lower leg injury, but we saw him trying to come back, not quite at 100% last week, and hopefully we'll have Reese Satterwhite back pretty soon. But really, just to be in the position where we are and to be as healthy as we are, and at running back, I like the stable of 4 running backs that Coach Blankenship has the luxury of being to alternate. You and I were talking on the way down here, though. We saw for the first time this season the Wild Ram, a lineup that we had not seen before, and Chris Averis, he likes to hit people.
Oh,
and
man, he loves that contact.
That's some of that thunder and lightning we talked about, and he is definitely the thunder. But you also have back there Jason Mall, Jaden Hall, Cecil Garrett with 2 touchdowns last week as well. So a lot in the cupboard for Coach Blankenship to choose from.
The Owasso Rams will kick off here tonight, going from the left side of your radio dial to the right side of your radio dial. It's Bill Blankenship and the Owasso Rams coming in at 3-2, and Carter Whitson coaching the Edmond North Huskies coming in at 2-4 on the season. That is your Duralast Roofing Specialist pregame show. It's time for some Owasso Ram football.
So Noah Hill will tee it up and kick it off left to right on your radio dial with the wind, and he gets a kick high up into the air. It's going to be fielded at about the 2-yard line. They'll run it out to the 15, the 20, and be up-ended there. That is Ashman that came down on special teams and makes a great tackle, where Edmond North will start 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line.
That was Tatum Willis, the 5'9" sophomore wide receiver, returning that ball, and he had a good head of steam, but a great job there getting a stop in open field coverage. So not a whole lot of extra advantage here off the kickoff return for North.
Edmond North comes out onto the field. They'll run the single back to the right of the quarterback. Quarterback's going to be Price Bender. He has 2 receivers out to the far right, 1 to the left, and movement already on the offensive line, so that'll back up North for 5 yards. Looking at the starting lineup defensively for the Rams, on the line it'll be Roman Graham at defensive end. The other defensive end, Dwayne Jones. Taj Overton and Elijah Hills, the defensive tackles. The linebackers, Kel Pennington, Lyric Wheeler, and Isaac Ashman. And in the secondary, your corners, Derek Lockridge, Eric Harris, and the safeties, Riker Ogg and Carter Langendorfer. Running up the middle, that's what we talked about, a big, strong run.
Yeah, that's Cade Carbs, Steve, and he's listed as a tight end. He is 6'3", 235, and just a hog molly of a guy to try to bring down. And I believe, Steve, in the latest 2 deep that we got, Dev Williams, who is their big ball carrier, the one who's averaging 180 yards a game, he was not listed on their 2 deep, so that's something we'll have to watch.
Carbs had a big, long touchdown run last week against Edmond Santa Fe. Bender out in the pocket, throws it, and the Carbs could not catch it out in the flat, and he was covered immediately on the outside. That was Dwayne Jones with a great read from right defensive end to come out and be right in Carbs' face. So Edmond North here with an early 3rd and 8 here early in this first quarter.
That was a really nice read by Dwayne Jones, Mr. D End in the Mr. Owasso pageant last night. And he's got enough lateral speed, especially matched up against a tight end like that he should be able to catch up to him every time. Again, it's just a matter of size right there. Carb's 6'3", 235. He's going to be a load to bring down if he gets the ball. 3rd down and 8 here.
Bender in the pistol. He's back in the pocket. He's going to throw over the right side. He's got a receiver, and it is caught. And this is going to be a touchdown, as that catch is going to be run in all the way by Jace Lakin. No help over the top on that far side, and that is going to open up the scoring here for Edmond North on the long touchdown pass from Bender to Lakin, 77 yards here in the early going.
Just single coverage over there on the far side, and that's what they must have been watching some Owasso and Union film there, because that's where the Red Hawks were able to burn the Rams several times on the evening, and it worked there on the first drive of the game.
Referee conference down here at the 15-yard line. I'm not sure what it was. Just a down and out on the back part of the cornerback. And it was a nice throw into the wind, by the way.
Yeah.
By Bender.
Bryce Bender, now a multi-year starter for the Huskies.
Not sure what the discussion is here, Jared, unless we had a sideline warning. That's been an issue for the Rams.
Our white hat here tonight wearing earmuffs. I'm not sure it's quite that cold.
We got unsportsmanlike conduct against Edmond North. So that may be issued. And the reason I couldn't see the flag, Jared, pink flags here tonight.
Oh, that's right. We're in October now. Breast cancer awareness. So
yes,
we'll have to watch out for that. A little bit more difficult up against the green than the bright yellow.
So Edmond North will line up for the extra point attempt.
Well,
Reese McManus, the kicker, and he gets the kick up. And there's a flag on the field. We've got offside to get the Rams.
Well, they're saying that the Rams drew the left tackle offside.
And now Coach Whitson is sending his offense back out on the field. 11:07 here in the early going, and North with a big pass play for the touchdown.
Yeah, 3 plays, 79 yards. It's a 77-yard touchdown in just 53 seconds of a drive. 11:07 here remaining in the first quarter, and they're going to go for 2.
And I'm not sure they got there. No signal by either referee. And now they're saying no, he did not get in. Tried to run. That looks like Trey Hall coming off the bottom of the pile. Dwayne Jones had his nose stuck in there again. So,
Steve, that was big Cade Carbs, the 6'3" tight end, trying to stretch over the line. And good job by the Owasso front line to push him back and make sure he wasn't able to punch his way in for the extra 2.
So 11:02 to go here in the first quarter. Huskies strike first. It's 6-0 over Owasso. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
At Jersey Mike's, they slice your order fresh right in front of you. And let me tell you, watching that can send a rush of emotions through a person. Excitement, impatience, baby-like wonder, indecisive, anticipatory chewing, nervous pacing, happy claps, and finally, jealousy, because that's this guy's sub. I should order one. Good idea. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
We're back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth, where the Rams did not get off to a hot start like Coach Bill Blankenship wanted to, as the Edmond North Huskies lead this one 6-0, just 58 seconds into the first quarter of action. But the good news is that leaves us plenty of time, and we have not yet seen the Owasso Rams offense here.
So the Huskies will, after the penalties, it appears they will be backed up to their 25-yard line on this kickoff. So you would think, Jared, kicking into the wind, the Rams should get good starting field position. Jakari Thomas back deep along with Noah Hill to receive the kickoff.
And that could turn into being a big penalty. We'll see what kind of leg he has. Reese McManus.
He kicked for Edmond North last year, and he'll kick off again here. Let's see if they do a standard kick. Yeah, they're going to squib it over here to the near side. Noah Hill gets it on the bounce, runs to the left across field. He's up to the 40, cuts inside, back to his right, tries to get to the outside, to the 45, the 40, the 35, before he's brought down in Edmond North territory. The Rams are going to have great starting field position at the Husky 35-yard line.
Wow, Noah Hill, what a great response there from the young man. He cut it across the field to the east side of the field, found a lane right up the gut, and then cut it back to the west side of the field. And now look at this starting position, 37-yard line.
I gave him a couple of extra yards there, but a fantastic start here for the Rams as Knox Dyson brings his offense out on the field. Jakari, well, let's see who's to his left. It's going to be Maul. It's going to be a jet sweep to Jakari Thomas. He's going to be hit at about the 36-yard line and then pushed back. So maybe a gain of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 9. Jason Maul will be the running back to the left of Dyson. Rams line up quickly. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Deuce Chalk out on the left in single coverage. They bring Thomas across. Give him the ball again on the jet sweep. Cuts inside down to the 30-yard line. May have gotten inside the 30. Let's see where they spot the ball.
And we saw plenty of that against the Mustang Broncos last week. It worked really well for the Rams.
Real quick again with 2 running backs this time. Dyson with Hall and Zafaris. Now they switch. Zafaris to the right of Dyson. Take the handoff, try to run up the middle, and caught in the backfield, but able to drag defenders.
Really nice second push there. I believe that was Maul.
No, it's Jaden Hall.
Jaden Hall, excuse me.
Well, we talked about this last week, Jared. The numbers are 29 and 28.
Yeah.
And when they get scrunched up on the back of the uniforms, it's hard to read. And I think they're going to say that is a First Bank of Owasso first down as they'll move the chains.
Yeah, that was all second effort there by Jaden Hall. Jaden Hall coming into tonight, 127 yards on the season, but he has been a workhorse for the Rams.
Now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Dyson yet to throw a pass. Gives the ball away to Hall. He runs down the left side, got some room down to near the 20-yard line, stretches over the Husky defender. And so a nice run on first down. The Rams just doing everything on the ground right here on this first series.
And if you can own that line of scrimmage, that's what you want to do here. Wear them down up front early, and that'll lead to some bigger gains later in the game.
Dyson back in the pocket, looks over to the left side. Ball is up. It's a touchdown caught by Deuce Chalk. The defender went up to tip the ball. He missed, and Deuce says, I will take that into the end zone. The Rams score their first opportunity on the field here on offense.
I'll tell you what, that was right over top of the fingertips of the cornerback. Chauncey Cravens.
Now Noah Hill will line up for the extra point attempt. The kick is up, and it is through the uprights, and the Rams come out and respond with a great return by Noah Hill and a touchdown pass from Knox Dyson to Deuce Chalk. 8:47 to go here in this first quarter. Rams take a 1-point lead, 7-6 over the Huskies. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
When it's time to celebrate a sweet Owasso Ram victory, nothing will do quite like nothing but cakes. From personal buntlets to individual buntinis for the entire team, you'll discover a bunt load of flavor for every occasion. Visit Nothing Bunt Cakes in Owasso, located in the Smith Farm Marketplace. Nothing Bunt Cakes, proud supporter of Owasso Athletics.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth, where the Owasso Rams have claimed the lead for the first time here tonight, 7-6 over the Edmond North Huskies. 8:47 to play on a nice 37-yard drive, capped off by a touchdown.
Sam Aycock kicks off, fielded at the 10, back to the 30, and finally tackled there. Several Rams in on the tackle that time. Cecil Garrett among those. Ashman in again.
That was a 5-play, 37-yard drive for the Owasso Rams in 2 minutes and 6 seconds, capped off by the Knox Dyson to Deuce Chalk 21-yard touchdown. Makes Knox Dyson 1 for 1 with 1 touchdown.
Those are good numbers.
Pretty good, pretty efficient for an efficient guy already. Averaging nearly 70% completions on the season.
Empty backfield for Bender. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Watch for a quarterback draw. He's going to look to his left. He's going to be under pressure, but he throws the ball out to the left side, incomplete, short of his intended receiver.
A lot of pressure from the Owasso linebackers, Cale Pennington and Lyric Wheeler, and that caused Bender to rush his throw a little bit over here to the near side slot receiver,
Caden Dickman. 2nd and 10 at the Husky 33-yard line. Bender again, same formation, empty backfield. Rams showing pressure. And it's going to be a long fade pass here to the left side, but he throws it out of bounds. His intended receiver that time was Dickman again, but coverage very well down the field.
Yeah, Cole Campbell on the coverage in his second varsity game here for the Owasso Rams, the freshman coming out and had nice coverage. And again, I mean, you saw Roman Graham there. He was standing in the face of Bryce Bender off the near side here. So good pressure here early on for the Rams, rushing these throws by Bender.
Cale Pennington on a stunt that time, nearly getting into the quarterback. So now we see a triangle formation here on the near side of receivers, 2 out on the right side. Pressure again. Pennington in the face of Bender. Can't get to him, but forces him into 2 other Rams. Pennington forced that.
Yeah.
Also, Taj Overton in on the tackle.
Brad Hernandez, the whole crew was back there getting a piece of Bryce Bender, and that is a big loss on 3rd down and 10.
And the Huskies will have to punt into this stiff wind.
That's more of what we were expecting.
Exactly. I'm sure there was some discussion on the sideline after that earlier touchdown.
Hey, you guys ready to play, or what are we doing here?
And so Bryce Bender is the punter. Noah Hill back deep for the rim. Bad punt as it shanked over here into the Husky bench. Let's see if that even cleared the 40-yard line. They're going to give him the 43-yard in Husky territory. So, again, the Rams with a short field and another opportunity here, Jared.
Absolutely, and this was such a big piece of the game against the Redhawks a couple of weeks ago, Steve. We talked about field position, right? I think the average field position for the Rams against the Redhawks 2 weeks ago, was their own 21-yard line. And now we've already seen 2 possessions inside the 45-yard line for the Rams, the opponent's 45-yard line. So great field position here, and you would imagine
got a hold up in play here. Okay, I wasn't sure there for a moment, Jared. Go ahead.
Those earmuffs are having a hard time of hearing.
So Dyson in the pistol, 2 receivers to each side. Hand off to Maul. He'll try to go left. Gets across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. And then they're going to just push him back. Good gain on the play. They're going to say 4. It was almost 5, so we'll call it 2nd and 6. That's actually 2nd and 5. I think I'm right.
I think
and
you
I
are
am.
right,
They
Steve.
changed it on the scoreboard. The announcers here are listening to the Owasso broadcast. Thank you. Dyson back in the pocket. He's got a receiver down the middle of the field. It's Noah Hill, and the ball floats away. Jared, he's throwing with the wind, and Knox Dyson tried to put a lot of air under it. I think under typical circumstances, it would have been right on the money.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, he's got a stout wind aiding that pass, and it fell about 5 or 6 yards too far of Noah Hill. But, man, Noah Hill had plenty of space between him and the defender.
They line up quickly. Right over the middle, pass is caught. That's going to be
That's Drew Hogan.
It is
Steve,
Drew Hogan, right across the middle.
Across the middle, gain of 11 yards when he needed it on 3rd and 10 or so.
That'll be a First Bank of Owasso, 1st and 10. Again, Rams line up quickly. 2 running backs, 1 to each side of Dyson. 2 receivers out to the left. Dyson hands the ball off up the middle, going to be caught from behind as pressure was coming off the left edge, but not before Jaden Hall is able to get a good gain inside the 30-yard line. So the Rams really very methodically moving the football here on their second drive of the game. 7-6 our score with 6:35 to go here in the first quarter. Now 2 running backs to the right of Dyson. Jet sweep coming across to Jakari Thomas. No, Dyson keeps it up the middle. He's across the 25, pushes his way down inside the 20-yard line, knocks Dyson with a nice strong run there on the keeper. I think the North defense followed the eye candy, and it was a great read by Dyson.
So did I, because Knox Dyson pulled that away from the ball carrier right there. It was in his gut, and Knox Dyson yanked that one hard. He saw an opening and got 11 or 12 yards.
They're going to come out in the same lineup, another First Bank of Owasso, 1st and 10. This time they go the other way. It's Hall. It's Maul going out to the left side, and he's going to be chased down there by the defensive end and tossed out of bounds rather rudely, if you will.
That was some really nice speed by Braden Turner, the 6'4", listed as linebacker, but he was really kind of playing in a stand-up D end there. In at 6'4", he was able to chase down the Ram ball carriers. Nice speed there.
Maul to the right of Dyson. Dyson's going to look out quickly to the right side. It's Hogan again on the reception on a quick slant. He's down to the 10-yard line. They're going to be just shy. Well, they're going to mark him back a yard at the 11. Thought we may have been in first down territory, but a nice quick throw and catch that time.
I tell you what, Steve, Owasso's got a nice receiving core this year, a lot of fun to watch, but I'm not sure anybody stands in as well as Drew Hogan and takes the hits across the middle in order to secure the football.
Now the wild ram by Zafaris. He's going to run off the right side. He's trucking people. He's down inside the 5-yard line.
The wild ram, you love to see it. Chris Zafaris moving downhill, taking contact, and inside the 5, First Bank of Owasso, 1st and goal.
They're going to leave it in the same formation. Zafaris again in the wild ram. He's going to run up the middle one more time. He's close to the touchdown, Chris Zafaris.
It's like he was headhunting, Steve. Going in, he took contact from 3 or 4 different Huskies. He said, no, I'm not done yet. Let's go score this football.
We touched on this early in our pregame, Jared, about how Zafaris looks for the contact. He doesn't try to evade it. It's like he takes it and it strengthens him.
I swear he had a hole, Steve, but he went
didn't want
straight
it.
toward the linebacker.
He wants to let you know he's in the house. Noah Hill for the extra point. The kick is up, and it hits the left upright.
That's tough. Noah Hill's been a great place kicker for the Owasso Rams here so far this season. And I don't know if the wind had anything to do with that one, but nonetheless, the Rams have a 7-point lead. It's 13-6 over the Edmond North Huskies. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. A Saho Animal Hospital timeout. Come back with more Owasso Ram football.
Support for Owasso Rams comes from the Oklahoma National Guard. You are eligible to join the Guard as early as 17 years old in your junior year. For working just 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks in the summer, serving your community, you earn 100% tuition and fees for your entire bachelor's and master's degrees or certifications for a skilled trade. There is also currently a $20,000 sign-on bonus, monthly paycheck, health care and retirement options, and much more. To learn about becoming a citizen soldier, text GUARD to 462-769 or call specialist Garen Patrick at 918-855-0213.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth where the Owasso Rams score on their second offensive drive of the game. It is a 9-play, 43-yard drive in 2 minutes and 33 seconds, capped off by a 4-yard Chris Zafaris touchdown, brought to you by State Farm agent Casey Miller, that scoring drive as the kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. Steve, a methodical 9-play drive, and it's really nice to see you can get 9 plays in 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. That really will wear down a defense.
Well, not only that, but the way they move the ball around from Maul and Hall, Drew Hogan on a reception, and really just great reads by Knox Dyson in the pocket, checking out where the defensive end is going, hands the ball off one time, keeps it another time, and the Rams really moving the ball very methodically on offense. Now the defense will come out. Bender in quarterback. New running back to his right. Bender takes the snap, hands the ball off. I believe that's Dickman. He's going to run off the right side. Maybe a short gain on the play. In on the tackle that time is Hernandez along with Taj Overton. And we're going to have an injured Edmond North Husky down on the field. So we'll take another Saho Animal Hospital timeout as they come out to check on this player. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Dr. Caleb Nelly with Tulsa Bone and Joint in Owasso.
And I'm Dr. Ian Goodman with Tulsa Bone and Joint in Owasso, and we are your team physicians for the Owasso Rams.
I'm Zach McGinty.
I'm Kate Grady.
I'm Destry Millsap. And we are the athletic trainers for the Owasso Rams. Here's some of the services that we provide in the Tulsa Bone and Joint Athletic Training Facility.
Providing our timeouts here this evening. Treat your furry friend with the best vet care in town at Saho Animal Hospital in Owasso, where pets are family.
So the player able to come off the field. It's 2nd and 8. Bender with Dickman takes the handoff, comes out to his left. He's got some room here at the 25 to 30, and finally knocked out of bounds, but the Rams lose containment here on the near side. A nice run for the Huskies. That'll be a 1st and 10 as the ball will be spotted across the 35-yard line near the 36.
And Cale Pennington was there on the edge, but may have been affectionately bear hugged by Landon Hawk, the left tackle, and that sealed off the edge, and Dickman was able to get a nice gain for a 1st down.
Now Carbs to the right of Bender, takes the handoff, runs up the middle, and he's going to get a gain of maybe 4 on the play. Kel Pennington in on the tackle. Also, Langendorfer.
Just a nice, strong run up the gut on 1st down, get 5 yards.
And that's what Edmond North likes to do. They like to try to pound the football up the middle and then break one of those long runs. So the Rams going to have to stiffen up on the interior of the defense.
Now you're going to see Cal Reeder in the backfield at running back, the 5'10" sophomore.
3 receivers out to the right, 1 here to the left. Quick throw over the middle, and good defense by Eric Harris on Dickman. It was going to be a quick slant, but Harris was right in the hip pocket and was able to reach up and slap the Bender pass. Incomplete.
Yeah, just kind of a bang-bang slant there, and a nice job by Eric Harris to get a hand in there and break it up.
North quickly to the line, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Trying to draw the Rams offside. They do not jump this time. Now Bender will look over to the sideline at the 3 signs being held up there and send the play call out to his offensive lineman. 7 seconds on the play clock. 2, and they get it off in time. Bender back in the pocket. He's going to look over to the left side, and it's Harris again who reaches up at the last moment, and it's a good thing he did to tip the ball, Jared, because 1, it looked like he had interfered, and 2, the receiver looked like he was going to have a chance to go deep, but great recovery that time by the corner, Eric Harris.
Yeah, and was able to get his hand up just at the last minute. It's like he saw the ball in the back of his head, Steve. Found it, knocked it down, and, for all intents and purposes, good coverage there. It's now 4th down and 5.
So Bender will stand back in punt formation. Noah Hill, he's only about 25 yards deep. It's going to be a fake up to the up back, and it's Carbs. I think he's going to have enough for the 1st down, Jared, as they're going to get him a good spot. I think it's a good spot, I should say. And quite the play call there.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, Steve, when your quarterback is also your punter and you've got those tight punt formations, you've always got to be, wary of that, and that's why you've got 10 guys on the line of scrimmage they were just able to find a hole and get to the first down sticks.
Cade Carbs has been tough, though, and as you mentioned earlier, he's a big fella and able to get that first down at the 47-yard line. Handoff up the middle, but tripped up in the backfield. Actually lost his footing before he's tackled. Dwayne Jones was there just in case.
Yeah, that's old number 101, the turf monster there. Dropping him for a 2-yard loss at the 45-yard line.
Cal Reeder, the running back, brings up 2nd and 12 as it's a loss of 2 on the play. Reeder to the left of Bender. 2 receivers out to the far right. Tight ends doubled up here on the left side. Bender back in the pocket, looking over the right side. They're trying to get it to Dickman again. Boy, a lot of contact.
There, yeah,
I wondered about that,
I'll tell you what,
Jared.
Steve, though, that pass was 10 yards short of, it almost looked like a misrun route because it was that far off. And, yeah, there was a lot of contact there by Carter Lankendorfer, but, man, they weren't even on the same page with that route.
So that's been an issue with the Rams as they had 12 penalties last week against Mustang in that 54-3 win. And here tonight, the pink flag's on the field. This one's going to go against Owasso. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Ram 40-yard line for the Huskies. Bender with Reeder to his right. Hands the ball off up the middle to Reeder and filling inside, but not in time.
Yeah, Cale Pennington.
That's going to be Campbell coming up from his free safety position, but the Rams having some issues here on this drive getting to the ball carrier.
And again, just, not being able to fill those holes right at the line of scrimmage and giving up 4 or 5 yards of carry. And that's something in the wins here, the 3 Owasso Ram wins this season, they've done a really nice job of being able to fill those holes at the line of scrimmage.
Bender with 2 receivers to his left. Carbs in the backfield, takes the handoff, run up, and then he runs into Taj Overton, and they're trying to fight him down. Roman Graham will come in and finish him off, but the initial contact there by Overton stuffed Carbs.
Yeah, slowed him up enough, and the rest of the Owasso front 7 was able to swarm the ball carrier for a loss on the play. It's now 3rd down and 6. And this is definitely 4-down territory, Steve, so you'd like to not give up as much as what you can here.
Ball at the Ram 37-yard line. Bender with 3 receivers out to his right, 1 to his left. Now the left receiver goes in motion, takes the shovel pass, tries to get to the outside, cuts up inside, and a great job by the Rams to string this out. Some extra activity going on in front of the Rams bench, but Dwayne Jones is out there along with Eric Harris once again. But overall, Jared, it was the Rams just stringing that out. It was basically a shovel pass sweep over toward the right side. And
yeah, it looks like the Rams are going to take a timeout here as the clock continues to run down. Now they stopped it at 1:16 here in the first quarter, Steve. But that's one thing, we've seen teams this season that both like to run inside the tackles and then like to run laterally outside of the tackles. And this is very much a team in Edmond North that likes to run inside the tackles, Steve. And if you're able to push them out and use the sideline as your friend like they did there, that's only going to be advantageous for you if you're the Owasso Rams. And that was a good job giving up just a yard. Instead of, a 3rd and manageable, it's now 3rd and 5, which I guess still is manageable, but it definitely could have been worse because they had some speed coming there off the right side.
And an interesting situation here, Jared. The Rams defensively take a timeout on a 4th down for Edmond North at the Ram 37-yard line. So I would imagine Coach Blankenship wants to make sure that his defense understands this is an opportunity to get off the field and get the offense back on.
Yeah, absolutely. And
you're right, this is 4-down territory as Coach Whitson's going to send his quarterback, his offense back out on the field unless they decide to quick kick.
Which, again, with a quarterback who's also your punter, even out of the shotgun here, that is definitely a possibility.
Bring a man in motion to the right. No, Bender takes the snap. He's looking downfield over the middle. Catch is made, and they will convert the first down.
A little bit of eye candy there, sending
Pearson Baker.
Yeah, sending Jace Lakin out on the wheel route on the far side. That's where a lot of the eyes were drawn, and then Baker right up the gut, little curl route just beyond the sticks, and he's able to convert.
So Edmond North with a fake punt, and now a fourth down conversion. Ball spotted at the Ram 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock at 1 minute to go here in this first quarter. Bender again back in the pocket, throws over to the right side, and the ball is knocked away by Eric Harris. Intended that time again for Pearson Baker.
And another just somewhat inaccurate pass there. Baker trying to come in on the slant, and Pearson just, Price Bender putting it out on the outside shoulder. Could have been a pick. Now flushed out of the pocket.
And he's going to be sacked in the backfield.
Trey Hall.
And he's excited about that as he makes the play.
And now we're going to have another stoppage of play. I think Owasso called another timeout here.
Again, very interesting as the clock is stopped with 44 seconds to go. Here in this first quarter, Coach Whitson is not very happy with his offense right now after that last play.
Yeah, Trey Hall, the bowling ball, able to get into the backfield. And Steve, I wanted to mention, in these wins, I did some of the numbers. In the 3 wins for the Owasso Rams against Jinx, Broken Arrow, and Mustang, and this kind of tells the tale of this defense, giving up just 2.6 yards per rush. And a lot of that, again, Broken Arrow tried to get to the outside. Jinx tried to run it up the middle. Mustang tried to get to the outside. But just the difference in offenses that we saw, giving up just 2.6 yards per rush, 24% on third down conversions, and just 14% on fourth down conversions.
Yeah.
And that really kind of tells the tale of that swarming style defense that we want to see and that aggressiveness that we want to see out of this Owasso defense.
Well, and that's what they've got an opportunity here, Jared. Obviously, I say obviously, but again, probably 4-down territory. Big sack that time. That's going to back the ball out to the 33-yard line. Huskies rush their offense out on the field with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right.
A 3rd and 18 now.
Bender in the pocket, looking left. He's under pressure. Finds a receiver underneath. It was Lakin, and that's a late hit by Trey Hall. No flag on the play. Fortunate there as the pass falls incomplete. I would be a little leery, too, with that pass on a slant with Trey Hall coming at me. Might have some short arms
and
on the receiver.
That was a screenplay, and they had blockers set up for days, too, Steve. That could have been ugly, but big Trey Hall coming at you. He got a little alligator army there.
Jace Lakin with the big touchdown reception on the first series of the ball game. And now it's going to be 4th and 18.
Offense still on the field.
Bender with an empty backfield. He's going to be under pressure. Here come the Rams. Throw over the middle, and it falls incomplete, and we got a late flag.
My goodness.
So this is going to go against Owasso again.
It's just frustrating, Steve.
Yeah. Because the Rams were there, and that's going
Everybody was in coverage. He threw it over his head.
I don't think it's going to be as far as the Rams are going back. It's not a spot foul in high school, so they'll mark the yardage off.
But on a 4th and 18,
and
the Rams have got to be more disciplined than that.
And so that's the second 4th down on this drive that North has been able to convert. 43.9 seconds to go.
And now the Rams jump off sides.
Yeah, we talk about the mistakes.
And that was
Jared.
a 4th down and 3. Even the 15-yard penalty, it was
Didn't
still 4th down. And the Rams just gave up the first down on an offsides. You've got to be more disciplined than that.
So this drive is going into a disaster mode
Yeah,
defensively.
and if they
here
score
for
here, Steve, this is
Owasso.
something we're going to have to revisit.
Yes. North hands the ball off to Carbs, tries to go off the left side. He's hit a couple of times, and he's going to be dropped back there.
Really
it's
nice.
going to be Carter Langendorfer that really made the hit, and a couple of Rams helping on the tackle. That's a big play here as Carbs, the big tight end lining up at running back, is going to lose about half a yard on the play.
Yeah, and Langendorfer giving up 3 inches and about 50 pounds on Carbs, was able to stand him up and wait for a couple of his Ram defending buddies to come and finish the job.
Bender
inside
with Carbs to his right.
Inside 10 to play.
And they may let this one run out. Bender, he's got 5 seconds left on the play clock. Sends Carbs out to his left, and they'll let this one run out. And we have finished 1 quarter of play here in Edmond on the campus of Edmond North. It's Owasso 13, Edmond North 6. At the Huskies knocking at the door. Come back for second quarter action. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Ascension St. John Care teams are here to empower you and your family by listening, respecting you, and creating a care plan that works for you. Here, your questions about your health matter. You deserve compassionate care, and you deserve to be seen and heard. That's why we built a network you can trust and where you feel supported. Together, we are a community. Ascension St. John, listening to you, caring for you.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sorry. Incorrect input. Please start again. How can I help? System restarting.
Rambo, don't you have a game to get to?
Oh yes, can't be late.
How may I help you today?
Bunt Cakes for being our first quarter sponsor, and Duralast Roofing Specialist for being our second quarter sponsor here tonight with the Owasso Rams deep with their backs against the wall here as the Edmond North Huskies have taken advantage of some costly Ram penalties as it is now 2nd down and 11 inside the 15-yard line. They're looking to go score and tie this game up.
Bender in the pistol. Now his running back, Cal Reeder. He'll take the handoff, goes up the middle. Not much room there. Great defensive stop on that right side. Roman Graham in on the tackle.
And Isaac Ashman coming off the near side nearly had him for a 3 or 4 yard loss. But
Larry
not much
Queeler in on the tackle again.
And we're going to have an injured
Yeah, that's going to be Caden Dickman, the wide receiver that may have gotten twisted up that time. So we'll take a Saho Animal Hospital timeout. 11:41 to go here in the second quarter. Owasso 13, Edmond North 6.
We the people are desperate for common ground. On this, we agree. Those who protect our freedom and families deserve our unwavering support. We give it through folds of honor. We the people have found what unites us. We will meet sacrifice with hope. Join us.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth as we take a look at the first quarter numbers for the Rams and the Huskies. Owasso with 10 rushes for 44 yards, a 4.4 yard average. 3 of 4 passing is Knox Tyson for 36 yards and a touchdown, 80 total yards and 2 touchdowns on the board. And for the Edmond North Huskies, 15 rushes for just 19 yards. But passing, they had the one long 77-yard pass, 88 total yards, 107 total on the board.
Bender in the pistol. He's going to run to the right and then pitch out to his running back, and missing the tackle there momentarily, I believe.
That was Campbell in pursuit, and I think Isaac Ashman cleaned him up after maybe no gain. great pursuit there by Cole Campbell.
That'll bring up 4th and 10.
Boy, if the Rams can get out of here with just 3 points.
You feel blessed about it, won't you?
Oh, my goodness. What a bear of a drive for the Huskies.
Reese McManus will come out onto the field, and he will have the ball spotted right inside the 20-yard line, so a 30-yard field goal with the wind to his back. Snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it's good as McManus gets 3 points on the board for the Huskies. 10:54 to go here in this second quarter. Owasso 13, Edmond North 9. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Damon Gardner, and we've lived in Owasso over 43 years. We had some storms that came through. We knew there was some damage. I knew Zach had a roofing business, so we wanted to get him to take a look at it. He came out. They did what they said they were going to do in the time frame that they said they were going to do it at the price that they said they were going to do it. Had no issues. Zach has followed up with us to make sure that everything's went well and no problems. He's come back to check things out personally.
Duralast Roofing Specialist has earned back-to-back Best in the World honors as voted on by Tulsa World Readers. Contact Duralast Roofing Specialist today at 918-906-7800 or visit them online at duralastruofing.com.
Welcome back inside the Duralast Roofing Specialists, the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. For the Duralast Roofing Specialist second quarter of action,
Hey, I can't do nothing bundt cake, so you go right ahead, okay? I'm 0 for 5.
I will take care of it here tonight.
Help me out.
After a bear of a drive for the Edmond North Huskies, 16 plays over 6 minutes and 19 seconds garners them just 3 points. You got to feel like that's a win for the Owasso Rams at the end of the day.
After everything that went wrong with the defense that time, finally stopping inside the red zone. Noah Hill receives the kickoff at the 7-yard line, out to the 15, the 10, trying to get to the outside, jukes up to the inside, out near the 25-yard line. Always electric when Noah Hill tries to return a punt. He has such great field vision, and when he tries to cut across the field, he strings out the coverage.
Like to say thank you to our good friend, State Farm agent Casey Miller, for providing our scoring drives here tonight for surprisingly great rates on home, auto, and life insurance. Visit State Farm agent Casey Miller in Owasso, the president of the Owasso Education Foundation.
I was going to say,
and we'll have to talk about that a little bit later in today's game because we got a big event coming up tomorrow night.
Got your mask?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh,
have to make up some masks. You got one made?
I was chosen one, yes. Let's say that. So
against your will.
Well, sometimes it's better to do what you're told. And I chose yes this time. Dyson in the pocket, throws a quick out to the right side. Jakari Thomas can't catch the quick throw out, but it looks like the coverage was there. He would have been thrown down anyway, probably for a loss of 2 on the play. So I guess if you're going to have a fortunate incomplete pass, that was the time to have it.
Yeah, absolutely. Second down and 10. And really, Steve, it's been about 25 minutes since this offense has been kind of standing out in the cold on the sideline, so may need to take a minute to get warmed back up.
Jaden Hall to the left of Dyson, high snap, hands the ball off to Hall. He's got room on the right side to the 30, 35, pushes a defender at about the 40-yard line out of bounds. That's going to be a First Bank of Owasso 1st and 10, but hold on, there's a pink flag down at the 24-yard line. It had to happen.
Steve, I believe it was Blake Novotny over there on the right side getting off the ground on top of a Husky defender, which usually means when that right side collapses that's probably going to be called holding and come back.
And that's exactly what this is going to be done, as the penalty will be stepped off back to the Owasso 15-yard line. Spot foul, so that's a big loss on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd and 20 for this Ram offense, now going right to left into this strong wind. So we'll see how that affects the passing game. Thomas and Chalk here on the near side. Dyson back in the pocket, plenty of time. He's going to loft one up for Deuce Chalk. And he comes back to try to get it, and that ball did get caught up in the wind. Or Deuce Chalk probably takes that for another Rams score.
Yeah, again, Steve, he had 3 or 4 yards on the Husky defender, the cornerback number 7, and he just had to come back to that ball because it just died in the wind right around midfield. And Deere still nearly made the catch, came back and adjusted, nearly made the catch. But nonetheless, it's going to be a third down and very long for the Owasso Rams.
So Mason Hendricks will come out onto the field. Rams looking at a third and long this time. Let's see what the Rams can muster up here. Maul to the right. Dyson back in the pocket. He's got time. Steps up. Tries to throw it over the middle, and I'm not sure was the catch made. Drew Hogan was there. Yes.
Great catch.
Drew Hogan goes down and makes a fantastic catch.
Yeah, it's going to be about a yard short, Steve. I would imagine we'll still see the offense here stay on the field because it's at the 39-yard line. But kudos to Knox Dyson for sticking in there, taking a shot,
Wild
and still
Ram
delivering
coming
the
up
pass.
Here. And Coach Whitson, he saw what was getting ready to happen, and he wanted to take a timeout. You're right. There's not been an answer for Zavaris in this Wild Ram.
And, Steve, I'm glad you brought that up because at the beginning of the year, we talked about kind of the three-headed monster of this Owasso running core of these sophomores. And really, Chris Zavaris has come in and made that a four-horseman style.
Yeah.
All four of these kids are sophomores. Man, if we could see these four guys grow together, I mean, we saw – the four wide receivers a couple of years ago with Cole Adams kind of leading that group.
Right.
And, and that was so potent for the Owasso Rams. If we could see four running backs come together and they could be fresh, I mean, just think about that rotation. If they could stay together, these four guys, with an effective offensive line, that could be an unstoppable running game as we look forward years into the future.
Well, and the other thing, too, it gives Coach Blankenship an opportunity to rotate and to stay healthy as
100%.
well. You don't have to just depend on that one guy getting banged up every ball game, and any of the four can come in and be effective. So it's 4th and 1. You hear the bells ringing here at Edmond North. Zavaris takes the snap. He runs to the right, and he bangs forward into two Edmond North Husky players. He hit them at about the 38-yard line and drove them 2 more yards. That's an easy first bank of Owasso first down.
I believe, Steve, we also saw in on the play Elian Reagan, the 305-pound freshman. So they had the hog molly package in there. And Zavaris easily converts the 4th down and 1.
Dyson rolls to his right, looking downfield, lofts it over the middle, and I believe it's Hogan again with the reception, fighting for the football, but they're going to say Hogan came down with the catch. Another first bank of Owasso first down into Husky territory at the 47-yard line. Rams are moving the football.
How good has Drew Hogan been coming into tonight's game with just 11 receptions on the year?
Now the jet sweep to Thomas here on the near side. Cuts up back inside, gets caught by his jersey. May have gotten one on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd and 9 here as the Rams trying to line up quickly.
Going back to Drew Hogan, Steve, man, I think he's got 4 catches already here in the first half.
Now we got Noah Hill at the slot here on the near side with Deuce Chalk. That could be trouble. 2 receivers out to the right side. Handoff, and falling down to the ground trying to cut out to the outside was Jason Mall. That play was designed to go up inside, but for whatever reason, Mall decided trying to dart to his left was better, and that's going to be a loss of 3 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 13. Ball spotted right at midfield. Same formation. Dyson with the snap. He's going to look to his left. Going to run now to his right. Looking downfield. Now he pulls the ball down. Got room up the middle. And he spun around at about the 40-yard line. Good coverage that time by the Husky secondary.
Great coverage, but a nice heads-up play by Knox Dyson. He sidestepped the blitzing defender and was able to find a little bit of space. He got 10 yards on the play. So, again, from a 3rd down and long to a 4th down and manageable, maybe got 9 yards on the play, so it's 4th down and 4.
This is going to be interesting as Zavaris comes in as the running back to the left, Maul to the right. Dyson takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right. He's under pressure, throws it underneath to Zavaris, and it bounces incomplete. With a flag on the play, let's see if there wasn't.
Ty Watts came right over the top of Chris Zavaris.
Let's see if we don't have an interference against Edmond North. And it is going to be against the Huskies. That'll give the Rams a first down. So the Rams caught a break that time.
Yeah, and we were on the other side of that on the last drive, Steve. So we'll happily take that one. However we can convert fourth downs, we'll take it. Inside 8 minutes to play here in the first half of action. Rams with a 13-9 lead in an interesting scoring game. First down and 10 from the 26-yard line.
Handoff off the right side, trying to break to the outside, but can't get away that time. It's going to be Jaden Hall, and he was grabbed tightly there by the linebacker.
44, Jace Whitefield. He's a twin with brother Jance Whitefield, both tight end linebackers on the Edmond North roster.
So loss of 2 on the play. 2nd and 12. Dyson throws over the middle. Drew Hogan with a great catch, and then he's hit immediately. But a nice catch, hang on to the football at the 21-yard line.
And he slaps his jersey, said, yeah, I'll take that one. Again, right over the middle, taking another shot is Drew Hogan. But, man, he has come in clutch here tonight.
Gain of 7 on the play brings up 3rd and 5. Dyson with Hall to his right, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Looks over to the sideline, 13 seconds on the play clock, so plenty of time. Now he'll move the running back to his left. Quick throw out to Deuce Chalk here on the near side. He's going to try to get back to the outside. He got a good block down to the 10, 5, knocked out at the 1-yard line.
Wow.
But a great job by Deuce Chalk.
Yeah, great after the catch field vision from Deuce Chalk there. He saw the inside was all covered up, so he cut back around to the outside. That was almost a Cole Adams-like move. Just kind of worked his way around back to the outside and found the corner, nearly got the 6 points. They're going to call him out at the 3-yard line. So we'll be here on the near side hash, inside 6.5 to play.
Chalk and Thomas. Thomas goes in motion, left to right. Handoff right up the middle. In the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Just bulldogging his way into the end zone. I can't tell if that was
Hall.
It's
no,
Maul.
It was Maul that time. Jason Maul on the carry.
Great job. Jason Maul getting his 3rd touchdown of the season.
It's so hard to read those jersey numbers like that, isn't it?
It really is.
Now lining up for the extra point. Jackson Duffield, the long snapper. Cavanis with the hold. The kick is up. And it's good. So the Rams able to get a long drive put together and extend their lead 20-9 over the Huskies. This is Ram football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Discover the path to pain-free living at Restoration Chiropractic. Doctors Bryce and Allie Colt are Owasso graduates dedicated to restoring your body's balance and vitality. Their neurologically based care is non-invasive and designed to target aches and discomfort. New patients receive a complete consultation with neurological evaluation, any necessary x-rays, a doctor's report, and care recommendations for just $60. Call 918-212-0084. Restoration Chiropractic, proud supporters of Owasso Athletics.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. It's time for the State Farm agent Casey Miller scoring drive, where the Owasso Rams go 12 plays, 75 yards in just 4 minutes and 26 seconds, capped off by the Jason Maul 2-yard touchdown. And the Rams lead this one 20-9 with 6 minutes and 21 seconds to play here in the first half of action.
Acock to kick off into the wind. It's going to be a high onside, and it drops on the ground, and the Rams recover. Edmond North just let the ball bounce and looked at one another. A perfect kick by Acock, and the recovery by Owasso.
A couple of years since we've seen that one, Steve,
yes.
But just an absolute gaffe by the Huskies. Coach Whitson has got to be fuming down on the sidelines. He's given the upbacks the business as they are slowly coming off the field. And the Rams offense will have, again, tremendous field position and a chance to blow this game wide open.
6:21 to go, and Owasso again now with a short field. And that defense just came off the field, Jared, after a 12-play drive. You know they've got to be running on fumes here.
100%.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Rams at the Husky 30-yard line. Dyson, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Hand the ball off left tackle, cutting back up inside. That's going to be Jason Mall. No gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 10 as the clock continues to run. Owasso 20, Edmond North 9. Dyson will move Mall to his left. 2 receivers out to the left. Dyson in the pocket, looking downfield. He's got an open receiver in the end zone, and it bounces off the back of the helmet of the defender who is running back forward to cover Jakari Thomas, who was wide open in the end zone.
The guys have been there, the receivers have been there, and unfortunately, Knox Dyson's putting the ball where he needs to. It's just the wind keeps knocking it down. Jakari Thomas was having lunch in the end zone, wide open, and he just doinked it off the back of the helmet of the Edmond North cornerback.
I believe it was Reese McManus that was in coverage that time. So a big 3rd down here for the Rams. Dyson in the pocket, quick throw out to the right side, and they can't catch the football. Seen that several occasions on the season, and the Rams are in that territory, Jared, with this strong wind in their face. I know it's going to be 4th and 10, but you really, Coach Blankenship will leave his offense out on the field.
And that's, is a punt going to do a whole lot for you here? I mean, with the way this Edmond North offense moves, this could effectively be your last drive of the half here, so you'd really like to at least take a shot and try to get something out of it.
Well, and you got Deuce Chalk here in single coverage here on the near side. Now they bring a safety out. Dyson looks to his right. He's got room up the middle, and then he's going to loft it toward the end zone, and the ball is intercepted in the end zone, and then trying to run it out. I believe that's Dickman on the pick and the return. Yeah, he'd been better off taking a knee.
Well, and that, essentially that does act like a punt there. So, unfortunately, you don't want to see Knox Dyson throw the interception, just his 2nd of the year, Steve. But at the end of the day, that is treated essentially like a punt, and good for the Owasso Rams. He ran it out. So, instead of 1st and 10 at the 20 or 25-yard line, they're going to have it 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line. So, nothing doing out of that, but that was kind of a bonus drive, I guess, as you will anyway, with the recovery of the onside kick. Of course, you would like to get some points out of it, but nothing doing there, and you're going to see a little bit more rested Owasso Ram defense.
Well, and you've got Edmond North backed up in their end zone, and so this defense may have their ears pinned back, except for the fact that they just jumped offside. So that'll move the ball out to the 10-yard line. Again, penalties just coming at inopportune times for the Rams.
Yeah, and Coach Antonio Graham has been working on that. He's not going to be happy or very pleased with that, but
and it's real simple, Jared. Just watch the football. I mean, you're a defensive lineman lined up there right by the football. You don't move until it moves, and that's just anticipation. So now it'll be 2nd and 5 for North. As they hand the ball off to Carbs, he's got room here on the near side, but it's Larry Wheeler coming in for the tackle, and then we see a late flag come into the pile.
I'm going to see if this is a face mask, potentially.
Yeah, I saw the turnaround as well, and that's going to go against Owasso. So back-to-back penalties. It's been a tough night. We saw this against Mustang last week. They were able to move the ball effectively, and you think of penalties, you think some offensive penalties. Man, this has been all defensive.
Well, and especially, Steve, you go back to that very first drive against Mustang. I mean, I think there were close to 40 yards of penalties on that first drive, and that was the only scoring drive they had, Steve. So, I mean, again, you take penalties out of that game and this game, and you're dominating.
So Bender bringing a man in motion. Carbs to his left. Hands the ball up to Carbs, tries to go off left tackle, but Lyric Wheeler was right there in the hole to fill it up. Carbs keeps pushing, and Ashman's going to tackle him down to the ground. So a nice job this time by the Ram defense.
Yeah, giving up just a yard or two
Yeah.
there on first down. Hard-nosed defense there. Man, he is a tough guy to bring down.
You almost have to put just a spy on him to stay with him wherever he goes. And Wheeler did a fantastic job. Bender looking to the sideline for the play call. Clock at 4:30 to go here before halftime. And the play call finally comes in. Now we'll relay that to the offensive line. 5 seconds on the play clock. Bender takes the snap, looks over to his left. It's a hitch and go. Going to hand it down the sideline. It falls incomplete, and no flags on the play this time. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Huskies at their own 32-yard line.
And nice job, Derek Lockridge over there in coverage. Also had Carter Langendorfer over there as well coming in to help.
So an opportunity here for the Rams to get a stop. I would imagine here that Coach Whitson would have to punt.
Yeah, this deep in territory is Coach Whitson's going to call a timeout and talk this one over. 3rd down and 8. This deep in their territory, you got to think, convert this or punt it away.
So with 4 here before halftime, it's Owasso 20, Edmond North 9. We'll take a 30-second Saho Animal Hospital timeout here on your Owasso Sports Network.
Going to college was always a dream of mine. The Oklahoma Army National Guard made that dream come true.
I was worried about taking on student loans. The Oklahoma Army National Guard paid for my college.
I didn't think I would have time for school. But serving part-time right in my community, it's no problem.
I finished my degree last year. The Oklahoma Army National Guard reimbursed my tuition 100%.
Find out what the Oklahoma Army National Guard can do for you.
Hey, Jared.
I just checked a college football score, and I'm pretty happy.
Whoa, what?
The Pokes leading 20-7 with 30 seconds before halftime. We'll see how long that lasts. I do have to say, though, I wore my Jake Clifton button all day at work today.
There you go.
People were asking me, why are you wearing the blue, or excuse me, the purple?
Yeah.
And I said, man, my heart bleeds
my
orange and
favorite,
black,
yeah.
but there's no one better than my boy Jake Clifton.
There's a guy, Big Jake. 3 receivers out to the left, to the right. Bender back in the pocket. Pressure coming off the right side, but he gets the pass up, and it's going to be complete. And this is going to be a touchdown, Edmond North.
Wow.
A complete break in coverage once again, as getting behind the defense was Dickman.
Well,
unbelievable.
The Rams sold out on the blitz there, and Lyric Wheeler nearly got to him in time. Bryce Bender took a licking from Wheeler, but was able to get the pass off, and Dickman was there waiting with nobody in coverage. And that is a gaping hole for the Owasso Rams. We've seen that a couple times now, Steve, in the last couple of games, and that is concerning.
Now McManus with the extra point attempt, and it's up, and it's good, and Edmond North not going away as they pulled it within 40 to 4:01 to go before halftime. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Money doesn't grow on trees, we're all told. Well, maybe you're barking up the wrong tree, because performance checking from Communication Federal, it grows like a weed. You see, performance checking at CFCU pays 5% APY, which makes your money grow fast. And there's no fees, no minimum balance, and you get a free debit card. So how about you make like a tree and leave your bank and switch to performance checking, only from Communication Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. See competcu.org for details. Subject to credit union approval. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth. 4:01 to play here in the second quarter of action. The Edmond North Huskies cutting into this Owasso Ram lead. It's now 20-16 on the heels of a, get this, Steve, 4-play, 96-yard drive in a minute and a half, aided by some crucial Owasso Ram penalties and a complete breakdown in coverage for the 68-yard Bender to Dickman touchdown.
Well, the Rams with plenty of time on the clock to be able to put a drive together. Unfortunately, that interception in the end zone on 4th down, Edmond North able to come up with points as this kick's going to go out of the end zone past Noah Hill. And so the Rams will come out and start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Well, Steve, you really want to see the Owasso Ram offense to respond here, take up the majority of this clock and go put some more points on the board, because you absolutely don't want to be down or don't want to have this within one score at halftime.
No.
You want a little bit of breathing room as you head into the second half, especially with the momentum that the Huskies have here after that 96-yard touchdown drive.
77-yard pass play and now a 68-yard pass play. And Knox Dyson in the pistol for the Rams. He'll hand the ball off, go on the right side. Got some room across the 25, the 30, breaking two across the 35, the 40, 45, the 50, and then knocked out of bounds. Great job that time by Jason Mall. And the Rams all of a sudden are in business in Edmond North territory at the Husky 46-yard line. Rams are going to go fast. Empty backfield, 3 receivers to the right. Watch for the relay. Dyson with the snap. Keeps the ball, tries to go to his left, back to his right, across the 40, 35, down to the 30, looking for a block, the 25. Loses the football, and it's going to be recovered by Edmond North.
Oh, my goodness, Steve. Oh, that was looking so good, and it just kind of popped out. That was such a weird way to lose the football. It's almost like he kicked it or something.
Yep.
It popped out, popped way up high in the air. Nobody was even around. And he lost the football, tried to get it back, but there were too many Huskies around. Goodness gracious, as explosive as this offense has been and as what they can be, it's almost like we're just trying to move a little bit too quickly for what we're wanting to do. Goodness gracious.
And that'll bring the Edmond North offense back out on the field, and they have some time with 3:40 to go. Huskies at their own 30-yard line. Bender with one back to his right. Takes the snap. 4 receivers in the pile, and they're going to go deep again. The ball is going to be thrown over the head of Dickman, the intended receiver.
We're going to have a flag in the backfield, a roughing the passer. I couldn't see who it was, but somebody went up high on Price Bender. He took another shot, and that's another shot in the foot of this Owasso Ram defense. Unnecessary penalties and unnecessary yardage you're giving up if you're this defense.
And that's going to be a big gain for the Huskies out to the 45-yard line. 3:35 to go here in this second quarter. Bender with Carbs to his right. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Bender back in the pocket, good protection, looking downfield. He's got plenty of time, and he's got a receiver wide open, but just over the extended arm of his intended receiver, Jace Lakin, who caught the big pass early in the first quarter, actually the first drive of the game for the touchdown, and he was behind the Rams secondary once again.
I just don't understand how they're so easily able to get behind our secondary, Steve.
We're not talking just, a step.
No.
We're talking 2 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. You could
could
measure
almost
it,
hit that.
You could measure it in horse lengths.
Yeah, exactly. 2nd and 10. Carb still at running back. Now shifts to the left of the quarterback. They'll hand the ball off to him on the left side, and there's not much room there as he's tackled hard, and there's a tough pile up that time. Langendorfer in on the tackle. Ashman coming up off the pile as well.
Able to gain 3 or 4 yards there, so it's going to be 3rd down and 6, Steve.
Give him 4 as the ball spotted at the Husky 49-yard line. Clock continues to roll, approaching 3 minutes here before half. Tight formation. Bender with Carbs to his right.
Tried to get the Rams to jump off sides again. They almost did.
Now he gets the play call in from the sideline. This one coming in a little bit late, under 5 seconds. Bender in the pocket, under pressure. Runs out to his left. He's got some room, and he's going to be neck tackled out of bounds by Isaac Ashman.
That was a strong tackle, but Bender, good job finding the sticks and converting the first down.
I think that's going to move the chains as he runs into Ram territory down to the Owasso 44-yard line.
Flushed out of the pocket by Taj Overton. Bender, too much of an athlete. He was able to run away from the pursuant Taj Overton. And Ashman coming in to clean it up over on the Owasso Rams sideline with a tough hit. Man, Bender's taking some shots tonight.
So 1st and 10 Huskies. Bender hands the ball off toward the left side, and the Rams defense got that smothered up, and there's another flag on the field.
This is going to be a hold.
And this may be the break the Rams were looking for, trying to find a way to stop this Husky offense here tonight. So that'll back the ball up. Back into Husky territory. 2:29 to go as they'll spot the ball at the 45-yard line. An excuse me spot as they give them a yard back to the 46.
So it will be first down and 20, inside 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half.
Bender, empty backfield, throws it out here underneath. It's Lakin, and he catches it on the screen underneath to the 40, down to the 30. Run at about the Ram 27-yard line. And right now, Coach Whitson has the Husky offense clicking. We have a Edmond North player down on the field near midfield. And so we'll take a Saho Animal Hospital timeout as they come out to attend to the injured player. It's Owasso 20, Edmond North 16. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Hi, my name is Mary Taylor. I'm the Chief Talent Acquisition Officer at First Bank of Owasso. Now, recently, we acquired some talent that Coach Blankenship said that they had a lot of character. Well, he's literally a character. The type of talent that he has is a little bit difficult to apply to our banking environment. At First Bank, we're always looking for individuals to join our team and bring your special talent with you.
For the Edmond North Huskies, 2:18 to play here in the first half of action. But due to some costly Owasso Ram mistakes and penalties here, the Huskies are driving and thriving, trying to punch this one in and take a lead, Steve, into halftime.
So the Husky offense comes back out onto the field. Again, a tight formation. Single running back to the right of Bender. That's going to be Reeder. They'll just pitch it out to the right side. Reeder trying to get outside, tries to stiff arm Ashman, but he won't have any part of it as he drags Reeder down to the ground for a big loss on the play.
Great pursuit from Isaac Ashman there. Able to get into the backfield and drag Reeder down from behind, and really doing a nice job, Steve, as he had him back on the collar and not yanking him down by the collar and getting an unnecessary penalty.
Isaac Ashman, a 6-foot, 170-pound senior. We've called his name a lot tonight, throwing his hat in the ring for Defensive Player of the Game.
Now the clock has stopped. We've got some discussion here. Coach Carter Whitson is talking to the side judge, and now we're having a conference between the umpire and the back judge. And now the umpire's coming over to talk with Coach Whitson, who is appealing for something.
I think he's trying to say it was a horse collar as he's given the indication that he had his hand inside the shoulder pad, but the referee is going to kindly disagree with him.
Well, I don't know if there's an argument that his hand was in and around or around the shoulder pad area, maybe back on that back neck, but he absolutely didn't yank him down by that hand. That wasn't the dominant hand that was that made the tackle.
Well, I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. We got to play on because there's no replay in high school football.
Right.
So let's.
You can't stop the game.
Might be putting
appeal.
some time back on the clock.
So looks like they're going to take 7 seconds off the clock.
Because it was at 2:12 when the play started, so they'll now be 2:05 to go here before the half.
Again, if you're the Owasso defense, you just can't let anything go over your head, especially here this deep into your own territory.
A lot of time here. Now they're running more time off the clock, Jared, as it's down to 150.
Yeah.
Still going. I guess they started the clock, and Edmond North just taking their time. Now Bender with the handoff up the middle, and Reeder gets to the outside. He's down to the 20 and knocked out of bounds at about the 14-yard line.
Finally, a flag comes in. Cale Pennington was held for about 10 yards there, and this one's going to come back. There was a reason he sprung free, and that's because Cale Pennington had nowhere to go. He was being yanked.
So it looks like a spot foul from the 21-yard line, so that's going to be a big penalty against Edmond North now. So, Jared, I'm having a little trouble picking up the pink flags with Edmond North wearing pink socks and pink sleeves out here.
It's kind of like the
it's not really a neutral color.
Right. It's kind of like the Chiefs or the Steelers wearing yellow gloves, you know.
You always think there's a flag.
Right.
So they'll spot the ball at the Ram 31-yard line, 2nd and 17. Actually, it's going to be about 2nd and 13. Bender moves his tight end right to left. It's 4 receivers out on the left. Bender in the pocket. He's looking downfield, and he's got a receiver wide open behind the defense. It's a touchdown, Edmond North. Dickman once again with the reception. Jared, I just don't understand the coverage.
Well, you had Langendorfer and Eric Harris and Cole Campbell all back there. And I don't know, Steve. From up here, it looked like they just watched it sail right over the top of their heads.
I mean, this is like watching Union's receivers all over again.
Really?
The receiver is wide open behind the defense. McManus will come out onto the field for the extra point attempt. And we had movement on the right side. There's no call. And they're going to say the point was good, but I saw the tackle on the right side almost come up out of his stance and then reset. As it is, my opinion does not matter. Extra point is good. Edmond North now takes the lead over Owasso, 23-20, with 1:18 to go here before halftime on your Owasso Sports Network.
Guys, I wanted to share some positive news about the current home market. I recently ran into my buddy James Duggar at American Bank of Oklahoma Mortgage Group in Owasso, and I asked, what's going on if you're a home buyer? He said interest rates have inched up, but home prices are starting to go down, and sellers are willing to negotiate. That's great news for those with buyer fatigue, and James will walk you through the mortgage process to land that perfect home. Call James 918-698-1614 or stop by American Bank of Oklahoma's Mortgage Group at 86th and Main in Owasso.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth, where the Owasso Rams have given up their 3rd passing touchdown of the game, and the Edmond North Huskies lead this one 23-20 with 1:18 to play here in the second quarter of action, brought to you by Duralast Roofing Specialists. And the Rams will get the ball back here as Jakari Thomas and Noah Hill are deep to receive this kickoff.
1:18 to go, as this is going to be a high onside, and it's going to go way out of bounds.
Wow.
So that'll be a penalty against Edmond North.
That should be coming back a long way, Steve.
Yeah, that was way shy. So what looked to be a promising drive for the Owasso Rams, Knox Dyson looked like he was going to convert a first down for the Rams, and for some unknown reason, ball just flies out of his hands, and the Huskies recover at their own 30-yard line, and they're able to put together a 70-yard touchdown drive, and they lead by 3, 23-20 over Owasso. Dyson, Jakari Thomas in motion, fakes the handoff. He's got pressure in his face. It's going to be a screen here to the near side, trying to fight up field, and then slammed down to the ground is Jaden Hall, and the Rams are going to have an injury on the field as well.
Yeah, and that's Talon Bolt, I believe, or maybe Elian Reagan.
Elian Reagan is on the field.
The 300
center, and
5-pound center.
He's subbing in. He's a freshman subbing in for the already Sumner. So the Rams, this could be a predicament.
Yeah.
If you're down to your third center.
Well, and that's tough, Steve, because you know what at the beginning of the year was such a strength for you, this offensive line. Now you're battling with some injuries. You've got at least 2 starters out. Now you've got a backup center that is down on the field right now. Who knows? You know.
Interesting series of events here tonight.
I know Jackson Duffield can snap the ball.
That's true. Well, and he may have.
Well, Steve, coming up here at halftime, we will chat with Athletic Director Zach Duffield and have a very special guest with us as well, the regional champion head coach of the Owasso softball team, Shane Eicher, is coming up, and his Lady Rams softball team is absolutely rolling right now. 33-1 on the season, best record in the state of Oklahoma, nationally ranked by Max Preps, and they punched their ticket to the state tournament last week after defeating their 3 opponents in regional play by a collective score, get this, Steve, of 40-0, capped off by a Presley Downing perfect game in the regional championship.
And really, Jared, it's a complete ball club. They don't just hit the ball; they smash the ball.
My goodness.
They don't just have pitching; they got 2 great pitchers, and they can field.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tossing shutouts.
Yeah, it is.
And it's
from the circle to the defense to the offense. They've got it all together this year, and we're going to chat with Coach Eicher here at halftime coming up, along with Coach Duffield. That chat will always be brought to you by Trails Inn Barbecue.
Snap back to Dyson in the pocket, throws it out here to the near side. It's Jakari Thomas to the 50, in the 45, spins around down to the Husky 40-yard line. So a nice catch and throw that time.
Yeah, now under a minute
Sumner
to play.
is back in at center, Jared, so he must have been being saved for emergency situation,
Yeah.
and this is a 9-1-1. Rams line up quickly. Dyson in the pocket. Good protection. Rolls out to his right. Looking downfield. He's got Thomas off running. Try to get to the sideline. Gets a block. Cuts upfield. Get out of bounds. And he doesn't do it. He stays in bounds. Gets thrown down. But the Rams have 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
They'll take one right now.
And a nice gain there. It looks like the Rams are going to try to scramble up with 32 seconds before the clock starts again.
That is true. They did not take the timeout. Dyson. And now play is stopped. I believe Edmond North took their final out.
Scrambling a little bit there, and so that is fortuitous for the Rams. But I want to go back to that last play, Steve. You mentioned Ethan, and he had a really nice block. And then over here on the left side as well, Jaden Hall was in the game and had an absolute pancake out of the backfield. It's always nice to see a running back pancake for sure, and that knocks Dyson free across the right side to go and convert that first down. And again, that's just an added layer of your offense. When your quarterback has the wherewithal and the headspace to pull it and run when he's got space and have the wheels to do that, again, if he can take care of the ball, that is just an added layer of that offense that they've got to worry about, this Husky defense.
Yeah, and this is going to be another opportunity here for the Rams, Jared, to be able to jump back and get some momentum going in at halftime and try to find a way to stop this passing game of Edmond North. 3 touchdowns through the air here tonight, and they've all been long pass plays. The Rams trying to respond here before halftime. They trail by 3, 23-20. Dyson back out with his offense. Got Deuce Chalk lined up tight. Dyson in the pocket. Chalk's going down the middle of the field. Dyson's going to roll out to his right and then try to throw it in the back right corner, but the pass is short. Chalk can't quite make the catch, so that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Pretty good coverage there as well by number 2, Ty Watts, the 6'2" free safety. They've got some pretty good size in their secondary, Steve. I've seen a 6'1", a 6'2", so they're matching up pretty well against this Owasso passing threat.
Now we're going to see Noah Hill in on the left side. Pressure coming under Dyson. He's got room down in the back corner. Up for the catch is chalked, but the throw is out of bounds. And the clock down to 15 seconds. You got 2 timeouts, Jared, so, I mean, you can use the entire field if you want to try to do something over the middle. You know, Mason Hendricks was wide open over the middle last week with 2 touchdown catches in the first quarter. So let's see how the Rams roll the dice here on 3rd and 10.
And, Steve, that's, you know, you're probably out of field goal range here, especially with the wind.
Yeah.
But that's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Dyson try to go to that corner. It's just not been there with that wind knocking the balls down.
Dyson again in the pocket. Good protection. Looking downfield. Rolls out to his right. He's got some room. He's down to the 15. Takes a hit out of bounds. He's going to be close to the first down as the clock ticks down to 7 seconds. I'm not sure he quite got to the stick, Jared. They may mark him just short, and that's what they're going to do. It's going to be 4th and 1.
This is super interesting, Steve.
A lot of options and things to think about here.
I've got shades of Union in my head right now. This is a very similar situation. 4th down and 1. You've got time to convert the first down and call a timeout and maybe take one more shot to the end zone.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. And Coach Blankenship, he's going to take a timeout and take more time to think about this. 7.7 seconds to go. Rams trail by 3, 23-20. We'll keep it right here. And, Jared, the Rams have got to come out with some points on this drive.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, I keep going back to the Union game, but I'm getting deja vu because, again, just like that game, the Rams are going to get the ball back at the beginning of the second half. And, man, you've kind of been shocked by the Huskies here, taking advantage of some self-inflicted wounds here by Owasso. Even without their star running back, Dev Matthews, who came in with 8 touchdowns in the game, they've been getting it done through the air. But the Rams here, it looks like they're going to come out and try to kick a field goal.
That is what they're going to line up to do.
On 4th down and 1 and just tie this ball game at halftime.
It's going to be Noah Hill. Jackson Duffield will snap. Cavanis will hold. It'll be a 30-yard field goal from the 20. The kick is up, and it's no good, and the Rams come up empty off this drive.
Had plenty of length, Steve, but it was just off to the right side. And, again, Rams are going to be kicking themselves after an empty turnout there. 3.5 seconds to play here in the second quarter of action. And the Rams are going to go into halftime trailing the Edmond North Huskies.
Got to think they'll come out and maybe just take a knee, but you never know.
Well, the way
also
Bryce Bender's been passing the ball,
why not?
Steve.
Take a shot. 3.5 seconds, and the Rams trailing by 3. Bender, they're going to line up as if they're going to run a play. Well, it's a safety. He's just going to take a knee. And Edmond North is going to go in content with a 3-point lead here at halftime, 23-20 over the Owasso Rams. Be sure and stay tuned for our halftime show here on your Owasso Sports Network.
As Owasso's hometown community bank, First Bank of Owasso is a proud supporter of the Owasso Rams. Nearly 30% of its employees are Owasso High School alumni, and they are ready to serve you and your banking needs. First Bank of Owasso is in Owasso, for Owasso, and has been since 1962. First Bank of Owasso, member FDIC.
Owasso Education Foundation is committed to elevating the outcomes for Owasso students through knowledge and innovation with teacher grants that foster an atmosphere of engagement and growth. Join us October 7th for the Masquerade, OEF's annual gala at Hard Rock Hotel. Visit OwassoEducationFoundation.org for tickets and more information. Help us fund excellence in education with Owasso Education Foundation.
I started Folds of Honor above my garage 13 years ago because 90% of spouses and children of killed or disabled U.S. service members receive no federal education assistance. Our mission has never wavered. We honor their sacrifices by educating their legacy.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thanks to you, I will be a construction engineer.
An elementary school teacher. Thank you for helping me fulfill my dream of going to med school.
We're able to award these scholarships because patriots like you refuse to turn your back on the cost of freedom. Join the Folds of Honor Squadron today. Your $13 a month will help ensure we never turn military families away. This is your call to duty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thanks to people like you, I know my dad is not forgotten.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. This is the American Bank of Oklahoma halftime show, and we're joined now, as we are each week, by the Director of Athletics at Owasso High School, Zach Duffield. Brought to you by Trails Inn Barbecue, and a very special guest here this evening, the head coach of Owasso Lady Rams softball, Coach Shane Eicher, who might be the hottest coach in the state of Oklahoma right now. Boys, welcome in. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we're happy to be here.
Thanks, Jared. Always appreciate you guys making time for us.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, I wanted to bring you in especially because, during this time of year, you don't get the opportunity to get out much. And so I appreciate you taking the time. And we wanted to bring you in because you have had such a tremendous year, 33-1 on the season, and just wrapping up a regional championship. Can you even count how many of those plaques that you have right now? Do you have a count?
No, I'm being honest, I have no clue.
There's a handful of them up there, but man, I mean, you just talk about rolling right now. The dominance, I think I counted up, and I'm not great at math, but I think I counted up 40 collective runs to 0 in the regional championship. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. And I was finishing up stats, this afternoon, and I started looking, and we've given up 32 runs all year. And
wow.
I was just like, holy cow, that's incredible. And, that goes, credit to our pitchers, and our defense. We stress, defense every day, just about going over stuff, situations. And, Coach Fuller, our pitching coach, she does a good job, calling pitches and stuff. So, we're really proud of the kids.
Yeah, 100%. 32 runs in 34 games.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is, and 7 of them were in one game to Choctaw.
Wow. That's hard to wrap your brain around.
It's just incredible.
And that's capped off really by a perfect game there in the regional championship.
Oh yeah, Presley, she was dialed in that game, and I didn't know until about the 7th, and I was like, I think she's got a no going, and I was like, I'm not saying a word, because I didn't want to jinx it. And then after the game, and not only was it a no-hitter, but it was a perfect game.
And the beauty of it, Coach, is that it was a 3-game regional, but you really, you just played barely 2 games worth of innings across 3 games. So that works out really well. And you've got to be just so proud of these girls and everything that they've done. And I know, both on and off the field, Coach, they are such great representatives of Owasso and Owasso athletics. And, we were just talking off the air, a lot of these girls are going to go into basketball season and play basketball. I mean, they're such great representatives of our school and of our community.
Oh, they are. And not only they play basketball, we got a couple of girls that wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got kids that are true, multi-athlete kids. And, we're just proud of them. And, we want them to go do whatever they can and, have fun. It's high school athletics. And, if they can go help basketball, great. If they can go help, track or soccer or, wrestling, we want them to go do those things. And, we want them to enjoy their high school careers. And they're, everybody, they're great. Don't get me wrong, but and I tell Duff this all the time. They're better kids than they are athletes. I mean, they're just really, really good kids. And it was kind of fun the other day. Me and Duff was in my office, and, Addie Drummond was in there. And just having a conversation, and Duff's just like, man, she's just a great kid. And I'm like, they're all that way, Duff. They're just awesome. And now, don't get me wrong, they'll do anything to win. But you get them off the field, or whatever, and they're just so fun to to talk to and hang out with and stuff like that in the locker room and things.
Well, and Coach, that seems to be, kind of the culture that you've cultivated over there. I've been in the office before games and stuff, and and you've talked about how this is the best coaching staff that you could put together. These are the best managers that you could have. This is the best crew you could. I mean, top to bottom, it's the culture that you have built around this program, and I don't think for a second that doesn't play into a 33-1 record.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can go from strength coaches to destry, to our managers, and in our booster club. It's just been a great year. Just everybody's on the same page, and everybody wants what's best for those kids.
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens from here? I know we've got a regional championship is wrapped up. Now it's time. It's time for the big one, right?
Right. State tournament starts next Thursday, and it's going to be at Shawnee. The first two rounds are at Shawnee, and then the finals are going to be, I believe, at Norman at OU. Basically, on Monday, we'll have a ranking system come out, and they'll rank teams. I'll rank everybody other than myself, and then they'll release the rankings, and that's how our pairings go.
That's really too bad you can't rank yourself.
Well, I know, but
no, I understand. But hey, the Lady Rams 33-1, not only the best record in Class 6A, but the best record in the entire state of Oklahoma. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, and it's pretty incredible when you sit back and just look at some of the numbers.
And not to age any of the three of us, Coach, but I believe you were at the 7th grade center when I was at the 7th grade center as a student. And you just talk about that longevity and what the potential of what you have right in front of you. It could be a very, very special week coming up.
Well, that's what we hope. And like I said, it's a true story. When I got offered the assistant job, I told my wife that she was pregnant with my daughter, Allie. And I was like, if it's a daughter, I'm going to take the job as an assistant. I said, if it's a boy, I want to stick with football and, baseball and stuff. And thank God, Allie was born, and I've never looked back. I love Owasso, and everything about Owasso. Half my coaches are Owasso graduates, and we all work well together, all the coaches, and we're all friends with the football coaches and the baseball coaches, and all that. And so it's pretty incredible. And our kids want to be supporters of, we try to make sure we don't play on Friday nights if at all possible, so they go to football, or they go to basketball games. The other night after we won our regional, they went and watched volleyball. So, it's really cool. Owasso is truly, a great town, to be in.
Absolutely. And Coach Duffield, you got to be pretty proud about what Coach Eicher's done with this program.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Eicher, he's one of the best to ever do it. Not just in softball, but just in general. He's very humble, and he would say all shucks and kind of look the other way. But you talk about somebody that's built a program and has adapted over the years and changed. And, he's got a group right now that's as hungry and as excited. They win that championship regional championship on Wednesday. And Thursday, you look at our social media, our strength coaches put a video out. They're right back in the weight room, and they're doing mobility, and they're doing strength. And they're not done. They're not ready to call this thing quits just quite yet. So, super proud of them, not just because of their accomplishments, but how they represent the team, how they represent the athletic department, how they represent the town, the school. They just do it in such a first-class manner. And, people probably think it's a broken record and they can't be that great at kids. I'm just telling you, in my job, you don't get to be around kids a lot. So you have to force yourself to get out. Usually when it gets to playoff time, that's the time to do it. You're hanging around the gym, or you're hanging around the field, whatever sport it may be. And I'm sitting, no lie, Coach Eicher said, I've seen Addie Drummond said it, back there behind the plate and just be one of the best catchers I've ever seen on the softball field. Hit bombs, know her story well as far as her and her family. Mm-hmm. And just sat there, and her and I just go deep into this conversation about, concurrent enrollment and catching and, taking foul tips off her body. And I'm just like, man, what a neat kid this is. And, the others that I have gotten to know, Coach Eicher, he's spot on. I mean, they got to be a lot of fun to be around every day. Now, don't think for a second they won't cut your heart out if they have a chance to win. I mean, they're going to get after you, but they are sweet, sweet kids. So a lot of fun. Super proud of them. Super proud of Shane and his staff, what they do for our school, for our town. The way they represent themselves is truly, to be the cliche of Dr. Ogilvy, the Owasso way. That's what we want Owasso athletics to be known as. That's the way you go about your business every single day.
Well, the Lady Rams have a few more opportunities left to do it. And, Coach, I know you don't like to play on Friday nights, but we'd sure like to see you be playing still next Friday. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. That's hopefully the plan.
And Saturday as well. That's the goal. Coach Shane Eicher and Coach Zach Duffield here with us on the American Bank of Oklahoma halftime show. This chat brought to you by Trails Inn Barbecue. Coaches, thanks so much for being with us. Let's go get it.
Thanks for
Coach. Appreciate you having us on. Absolutely. Thanks, Jed.
More coming up after this on the American Bank of Oklahoma halftime show.
Hello, Ram fans. This is Ray Adcock with Christian Brothers Automotive in Owasso, and we are proud supporters of Owasso Rams athletics. If you've kept your ticket stub from any home sporting event, you'll notice the backside of that is $20 off for any service at Christian Brothers. That's right. Oil change, alignment, diagnostic, repair, doesn't matter. And if you'll check in on Facebook when you're in the building, that's another $20 off. We're talking $40 off for any service. Come see us at Christian Brothers Automotive in Owasso.
In the past 7 years, First Bank of Owasso has invested over $400,000 in Owasso Public Schools. This includes funds for athletic and academic teams, classroom materials, and support for our teachers. Discover the First Bank of Owasso difference by visiting one of their 3 convenient Owasso locations or by visiting firstbank.net. First Bank of Owasso, member FDIC.
Keith 2, your hometown insurance agency here in Owasso, proudly supports our Owasso Rams and expect another great season. We at Hometown Insurance love to win. We love our current and future clients, and we love our community. This year, we won the Best in the Burbs, and we couldn't have done this without you, Owasso. Contact me, Keith 2, at OwassoInsuranceGuy.com. Go Rams!
At Jersey Mike's, they slice your order fresh right in front of you. And let me tell you, watching that can send a rush of emotions through a person. Excitement, impatience, baby-like wonder, indecisive, anticipatory chewing, nerves pacing, happy claps, and finally, jealousy, because that's this guy's sub. I should order one. Good idea. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Welcome inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth for this American Bank of Oklahoma halftime show. Jared Gallagher and Steve Mowry with you here this evening on the campus of Edmond North High School here in Edmond, Oklahoma, where the Huskies have a somewhat surprising 23-20 lead over the Owasso Rams. And I say somewhat surprising given the recent history of this matchup where the Rams have outscored the Huskies by an average of 33 points in those last 6 matchups. But it is the Huskies with a 3-point lead over the Owasso Rams. And as I bring Steve Mowry in, and the homecoming festivities are happening here tonight. Steve, I'm not even sure where to go with this, but I guess just give us your initial thoughts on the first half and where do the Rams go from here?
Well, I like what they had been doing offensively. They were very successful moving the football, especially on that first drive, being able to establish the run game and then doing the short game. We've had success on those quick routes across the middle. Haven't really hit anything long here yet tonight. I'd like to get Deuce Chalk more involved in the ball game, maybe even try a throw underneath to Noah Hill coming across. He's been successful. We haven't seen Mason Hendricks after 2 touchdowns last week with any plays. So still a lot of room there for the Rams to maybe get some more points on the board. Defensively, man, I tell you, Jared, they're playing hard, playing physical, but just 3 big plays, pass plays behind the Ram defense. I know you'll have the stat, but Edmond North with 255 total yards in the ball game, 204 of those yards coming on 4 plays. And they've all been deep pass plays behind the secondary. And we saw that against Union. Thought we had it fixed last week against Mustang, but it's shown itself again here tonight. And when we say open, they are 5 and 6 yards behind the corners or safeties. There's no help over the top, and kind of putting our corners out on an island and getting burned that way, and thought we had another opportunity. As the Rams were coming down to drive, Knox Dyson had a great run going. Actually, look, after he got a good block in the secondary, that he might go on to score, and inexplicably the ball just pops out, and Edmond North recovers that. And then again, at the end of the half, it looks like the Rams may have an opportunity to go in for a score. Not only do they not get a touchdown, they miss the field goal. So that combined with untimely penalties has really been a killer for the Rams here in this first half.
As we take a look at the first half stats, here in the first half of action, the Owasso Rams, and this is also somewhat troubling, Steve, the average starting field position for the Owasso Rams, the 45-yard line. You sure would like to have more than 20 points on the board when you're basically playing with half of a field. But the Rams, with 20 points on the board, they had 11 first downs in the first half, 21 rushes for 133 yards, so doing a pretty nice job there on the ground. 119 yards through the air on 9 of 17 passing, but the one interception on a fourth down try, which kind of throw it up to the end zone by Knox Dyson. It was intercepted in the end zone and run out for a 4-yard interception return. That is 38 plays for 252 yards. Where the Rams have really shot themselves in the foot is 1 fumble lost, 8 penalties for 81 yards, and just 4 of 8 on third down conversions. On the other side, the Edmond North Huskies, 10 first downs. 4 of those, Steve, have come by way of an Owasso defensive penalty.
Yeah.
So really just 6 first downs by this Edmond North offense. Rams doing a really nice job against the run. 24 rushes for just 40 yards, under 2 yards per carry here tonight for the Huskies. But through the air, again, as we mentioned, Price Bender doing a really nice job finding open wide receivers. And the fact is, Steve, that he's had 3 guys burn the Owasso Rams. So it's not just one threat that the Rams aren't able to find, kind of like a Geno Boyd at Union. Price Bender is 5 of 14 for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air, no interceptions. They do not have any turnovers in the first half. They only had 5 penalties for 40 yards. Just one of 7 on third down conversions, but they were 2 of 2 on fourth down conversions, and that most recent touchdown to put them ahead in the half came by way of a fourth down conversion. Individually for the Rams, Jason Mall, 6 attempts rushing the ball for 39 yards. Jaden Hall, 4 attempts for 7 yards and a touchdown. Chris Safaris, the wild Ram package, if you will, 3 rushes for 17 yards and a touchdown, so effective there. And then again, Knox Dyson leading the way, 5 rushes for 62 yards, but that very costly fumble for the Rams. Dyson through the air, 9 of 17 for 119 yards. He had a nice touchdown pass. I believe it was a 31-yard touchdown pass to Deuce Chalk, but he did have the interception on the fourth down. Again, kind of chalked that one up as a punt. So that one's a bit of a wash there. But again, the defense giving up a 96-yard drive alongside some costly penalties on that drive as well to give up points following that interception. Receiving for the Rams, Deuce Chalk, 2 receptions for 40 yards and a touchdown. Drew Hogan having a really nice first half, 5 receptions for 54 yards all over the middle, and I'm pretty sure he took a shot on all 5 receptions and held on to the football. So a good job there. Hall, 1 reception for 2 yards, and Jakari Thomas really has not been a huge factor in this game. He did have the 1 reception for 23 yards, but they've done a nice job of neutralizing Jakari Thomas here in he as part of the ground game and really the passing game as well.
Well, and again, I'd like to see him get a little bit more involved. We haven't run the jet sweep quite as effectively here tonight. We saw that long touchdown pass that Jakari had against Union, but we haven't seen him out of the slot run that crossing pattern. So I don't know. Coach Blankenship and his staff will have the answers. They'll get this team prepared. They'll make adjustments here at halftime. I mean, you don't feel like you've really been outplayed, though, Jared.
Right.
That's the
Absolutely.
thing. I mean, you still feel like Owasso has controlled this first half. The things that have gone against them has been them doing it to themselves.
Right.
And so those are correctable things. Defensively, they've played well, except for those 4 plays, which were big, obviously. But, they haven't really given up any big runs. They've pretty well contained the quarterback. like to get a couple of more shots on Bender without them being late hits and get in his grill a little bit and see if that doesn't rattle him some, because honestly, the Rams need a couple of takeaways in this second half.
Right, and the flip side of that, Steve, too, is you want your defense to continue to play aggressive, right? Play clean but aggressive. You don't want them playing on their heels. Absolutely not. You would rather see them be aggressive and, you know, you just don't want them to be playing reactively here.
Right.
And some observations as Owasso is now taking the field. It looks like they're going to walk all the way to the other end to warm up. The homecoming festivities are still going on, and that's also something to keep an eye on here, Steve, because there are a lot of Edmond North starters that have been participating in this homecoming all halftime. Bryce Bender is out there. Lakin is out there, one of their receivers that has a touchdown. I believe Dickman may be out there, and Baker is out there as well. So, you know, maybe not so many halftime adjustments for them. Feeling pretty good here on homecoming night at Edmond North, but, you know, something to watch out for nonetheless.
Well, we know at Owasso how distracting homecoming can be, so maybe this will factor in as well for Edmond North, being a distraction for them, because Coach Whiston's not going to have all of his offense in there to be able to make any adjustments.
Let's take a look at some scores from around Class 6A1 here this evening. Mustang trying to come back. They were down 28-7 at halftime against the Edmond Santa Fe Wolves. And Mustang, a good ball club, as we know. We got them last week, but they're trying to come back and avoid a two-game skid after starting the season 4-0. They are now down 28-21, so two early scores in the third quarter, trying to get back into that one. Edmond Memorial has a 21-7 lead over UConn in the third quarter. It's halftime at Moore, one of the various Moore Wars, and the Moore Lions have a 31-0 lead over Southmore.
Anything on Bixby, Jared?
In a pure mockery of the game, they lead Enid. The Plainsmen 72-0 at halftime.
Pure mockery.
And the Union Redhawks lead Norman at halftime 36-0. Two scores from last night. Westmore knocking off the Broken Arrow Tigers 42-35. The Tigers now falling to 1-4 on the season. And the Jeeks Trojans back in the win column, defeating the fourth-ranked Norman North Timberwolves 42-14 down in Norman. Those games both finishing up last night. And it looks like we have a homecoming king and queen. And the teams both are now on the field. Steve, let's take a 3-minute timeout, and we will continue our American Bank of Oklahoma halftime show after this Saho Animal timeout. The Huskies lead it over the Owasso Rams 23-20 here on the Owasso Sports Network.
Hello, Ram Nation. Coach Blankenship here. We're proud to have a winning tradition here in Owasso, both on the field and off. And as we strive for excellence, our partners at Jim Glover strive for excellence also. That's why they're Oklahoma's highest-rated Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram dealer. Their unwavering commitment to always offer the largest selection at Oklahoma's best prices is unmatched. Plus, their standard of excellence in customer service after the sale is the best of the best. So when you need a vehicle, head to Jim Glover Dodge and tell them Coach B sent you.
When it comes to supporting the Owasso community, nobody does it like State Farm agent Casey Miller. For the last 5 years, Casey has been a good neighbor to Owasso families with affordable insurance and friendly service, even when the unexpected happens. Bundle your auto, home, and life insurance for even more savings. And be sure to say hello when you see her out supporting the Rams and Lady Rams this season. Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Casey Miller is there.
I started Folds of Honor above my garage 13 years ago because 90% of spouses and children of killed or disabled U.S. service members receive no federal education assistance. Our mission has never wavered. We honor their sacrifices by educating their legacy.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thank you for supporting the Fold of Honor.
Thanks to you, I will be a construction engineer.
An elementary school teacher. Thank you for helping me fulfill my dream of going to med school.
We're able to award these scholarships because patriots like you refuse to turn your back on the cost of freedom. Join the Folds of Honor Squadron today. Your $13 a month will help ensure we never turn military families away. This is your call to duty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thanks to people like you, I know my dad is not forgotten.
Everyone knows that to be the best, you must first look your best. And in Owasso, that means keeping your game day gear in tip-top shape so you can show your spirit cheering on the Rams. Waterstone Dry Cleaners is ready to tackle the toughest stains and keep you looking fresh. From team jerseys to letter jackets, you'll be looking your best both on and off the field. That's Waterstone Dry Cleaners, proud supporter of Owasso Athletics. Visit Waterstone Dry Cleaners at 96th and Garnett in Owasso.
All right, coffee connoisseurs, listen up. If you're tired of basic brews and bland vibes from those big national coffee chains, it's time to level up at Brew Coffee House. Wave goodbye to your average Joe and say hello to handcrafted liquid motivation. Enjoy a full menu of coffee, food, and other delicious concoctions that you won't find anywhere else. And when the Rams or Lady Rams win, just mention your Ram Pride the next day to enjoy $1 off your order. Be a part of the Brew Crew at Brew Coffee House in Owasso.
Flowerland, where emotions are expressed and creativity is delivered. Flowerlandflowers.com. KWON, Bartlesville.
Welcome back as we get ready for the second half kickoff. It'll be Noah Hill fielding the kickoff in the end zone. That'll be a touchback as the Rams will begin this second half with the opening possession. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, and they trail Edmond North in a bit of a surprise, 23-20. Jared, we knew coming into this ball game that Edmond North had some big playability on offense, and they've shown that here in the first half.
Yeah, and really that's kind of our second half adjustment sponsored by Restoration Chiropractic. Just limit the deep balls, guys. Don't let them get behind you on defense and stop shooting yourselves in the foot.
Knox Dyson in at quarterback, gives it off to Maul off right tackle, and he's going to get about 5 yards on the play as he's close to the 25-yard line. A nice opening play to begin this second half. Rams line up quickly. Deuce Chalk, Jakari Thomas here to the near side. It'll be another handoff. Maul's got some room, and he's going to be caught from behind as Carbs just jumped the runner and tackled him immediately. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Cade Carbs going both ways here tonight.
Yeah, Maul tried to turn the corner back here to the near side, and he had some space, but Carbs was already in the backfield, and he was able to use that big, long body to fall forward and take Maul down in the backfield.
Blitz coming, and the Rams able to draw Carbs offside that time. I saw the blitz coming here from the near side. And Dyson able to draw the defense off. That's going to be a free 5 yards, and that'll be enough for an Owasso Ram. First Bank of Owasso first down.
And Steve, going back to our second half adjustment here for the Owasso Rams offense, you really just want to see them finish drives. They're going to try to do here.
Hand off to Maul up the middle. Getting pushed now by his own teammate, another 5 yards, still going, another 5. They literally pushed the runner 16 yards of additional yardage into Husky territory, and that's another first down for this Ram rushing ball club here tonight. They just manhandled Edmond North on that handoff.
Just pick him up and carry him, baby. First Bank of Owasso first down.
Jakari Thomas over in the slot. On the far side. Handoff again to Maul. Some more running room. He's got room to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Owasso Rams. Don't tell me they knocked him out. Raise your hands. Yes, it is.
And that's the response you're looking for by the Owasso Ram offense. The adjustment you need.
You called it.
Coming here into the second half. Hey, how about that Restoration Chiropractic second half adjustment?
That's
it worked.
Exactly the time. Just run the ball right down in a big run to cap it off. Now, Noah Hill on for the extra point. The hold is down. The kick is up. And it's good. And on the opening drive of the second half, the Rams take the lead back away from Edmond North. They now lead 27-23. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Are you tired of living with the discomfort of neuropathy? Find relief today with Restoration Chiropractic.
Hey, it's Dr. Bryce with Restoration Chiropractic. My wife, Dr. Allie, and I are Owasso High School graduates and proud to bring our practice back to our hometown. Don't let neuropathy hold you back. Our neuropathy protocol uses state-of-the-art technology to help neuropathy all without the use of medications or surgery.
Experience the difference at Restoration Chiropractic. Schedule your consultation today and take the first step toward a pain-free life. Call 918-212-0084.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth, where the Owasso Rams take the opening drive of the second half and score it to regain the lead 27-23 over the Edmond North Huskies. And bear with us as our student staff is currently stuck in the elevator, so we have a bare bones crew right now as the Rams kick off and a fair catch is made by the Huskies. We have a bare bones crew. We're trying to get them out of the elevator here in the Edmond North press box. And
we'll get you back on the view here in just a moment. That high onside was caught down at the Husky 28-yard line where Edmond North will take over 1st and 10. But, Jared, tell us about that drive.
That State Farm agent Casey Miller scoring drive goes 4 plays, 80 yards, a minute and 53 off the clock, capped off by a 50-yard touchdown run by none other than Mr. Jason Mall.
So now the Rams defense got to come out and answer as they'll hand off to Reeder up the middle. He's going to be tackled immediately. It's Isaac Ashman once again. I'm telling you, Jared, he's having a ball game here tonight. Defensively, he's been all over the field.
And again, continuing that aggressiveness. Be sure to clean it up with the penalties, but continue with that aggressiveness. You don't want to play on your heels. And just keep that secondary, keep them all in front of you at all times.
It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. Bender fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right. He's under pressure, avoids the pressure, looking downfield, finds his receiver. No, it's tipped away. A great effort intended for Dickman, but Eric Harris was there to jump up and tip the ball away. An outstanding play by the corner for the Owasso Rams.
And Eric Harris had to run all the way across the field, nearly had the interception, took a shot, was able to bat the ball down, had the PBU. And now it's a 3rd down and 8 coming up. Great response from this defense so far.
That's pass breakup for our new listeners. 3rd and 8 here on the play.
I know my football. Come on now, baby.
I got you. Bender with 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Now he'll send the running back out of the backfield. He's going to look to his left over the middle, finds Dickman. Ball is knocked away and almost intercepted, but they're coming in for a big hit, and they're going to have a little John match between Dickman and Eric Harris. Dickman didn't like whatever happened on that last play, but right now Eric Harris has risen to the occasion, and he has dominated these last 2 plays.
Well, I tell you, Steve, Dickman got a shot on Eric Harris on that last play as Harris was trying to intercept the pass, and then Eric Harris got to return the favor there as Dickman had the ball in his hands, and Harris, again, with the pass breakup, the PBU, to cause 4th down.
So punt formation, and it is a good punt as Jakari Thomas, watch this one bounce over his head, down to the 10, down to the 5. And, Jared, there's a spot where you've got to find a way to stop the football because that's 30 yards right there. A real mistake. I know he had the wind, but I thought Jakari Thomas had a chance to catch that on the 1st or 2nd big hop, and he chose not to do it that time.
Yeah, and look, I get it. You know, as a coach, you're very wary of that, right? Because they can take weird, funky hops anytime, but that was really one. It just kind of end over end hopped and, you know, looked like it could have been fairly simple to pick up. Again, we're a long ways away, so that might not be the case. But, yeah, the ball rolls all the way down inside the 1-yard line. I mean, this is at the goal line.
It absolutely is, and Knox Dyson is in his end zone in the pistol formation, trying to draw Edmond North offside. They don't jump. 12 seconds on the play clock. Now Dyson will reset. The handoff to Maul. He's got room on the right side. Gets out to the 5, the 10. Still pushing him down to 15. Crosses the 15 before he's thrown down. And, I mean, that is just hard-nosed, grinded-out running by Jason Maul.
And, Steve, I tell you, Wyatt Eaton had both hands around. Maul had to spin away from Wyatt Eaton, his offensive lineman, because it looked like Eaton wanted to pick him up again.
I thought
and
he was
carry
going
him.
to and was actually pulling him forward. That's good enough for a First Bank of Owasso first down at the Ram 15-yard line. Dyson with the snap. Quick throw out to the right side. Jakari Thomas tries to fake a runner and can't get away. Dodges the right, back to the left, back to the right. Up to the 20, 25. He's out to the 30. He's got some room. Down the sideline, cuts back inside. He's to the 40. Down to the 30, cuts back into his left before he's finally thrown down. But what a run by Jakari Thomas.
Holy cow, Steve. You could tell his gas tank was running out because he had to juke about 7 times at the line of scrimmage to break himself free. Man, he was stopped for a loss on that play and was able to break himself free and ended up getting 50 or 60 yards.
Really used the entire field to his advantage that time, juking defenders, getting down inside the Husky 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Edmond North 28-yard line. Dyson with the snap, hands off to Maul. He's got room. Down to the 20, bursts out to the outside to the 15, the 10, trying to get down inside the 5-yard line before he's slung out of bounds. And the Rams are going to be looking at 1st and goal just inside the Husky 5-yard line. And this offensive line has come out and decided to make a statement here in this second half.
Yeah, this is more like what we're used to seeing from this offensive line and this Owasso Ram offense here, clicking on all cylinders here to start the second half.
Maul to the right of Dyson. Ball at the 4-yard line. Dyson takes the snap, handoff to Maul. He's going to go right up the middle, try to push inside, get pushed over the goal line. Touchdown, Owasso Rams. The offensive line just took over this drive, and they just pushed the Huskies all the way back to their end zone. Another score for the Rams as they extend their lead, 33-23, and the extra point pending.
Boy, that was quick.
That was fun.
Jason Maul, his second touchdown of the game.
Of the third quarter.
Of the in about 2.5 minutes.
Noah Hill will line up for the extra point. The snap is back. It's bobbled. Running to the outside is Cavanis, and he throws it in the end zone, but it's going to be batted away. So the extra point conversion is no good, but the Owasso Rams extend their lead 33-23 over the Edmond North Huskies with 7:58 to go here in this third quarter of play. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Support for Owasso Rams comes from the Oklahoma National Guard. You are eligible to join the Guard as early as 17 years old in your junior year. For working just 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks in the summer, serving your community, you earn 100% tuition and fees for your entire bachelor's and master's degrees or certifications for a skilled trade. There is also currently a $20,000 sign-on bonus, monthly paycheck, health care and retirement options, and much more. To learn about becoming a citizen soldier, text GUARD to 462-769 or call specialist Garen Patrick at 918-855-0213.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth where the Owasso Rams have opened up a 10-point lead as we see another
high onside kick to the far side of the field, fielded at the Husky 34-yard line where they'll start 1st and 10. Finish that up, Jared.
That's the State Farm agent Casey Miller scoring drive here. The second straight 4-play scoring yard drive for the Owasso Rams. Get this, Steve. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
4 plays, 99 yards in 1 minute and 13 seconds. I'm not sure I could run 99 yards in 1 minute and 13 seconds. And the Owasso Rams just scored 6 points in 1 minute and 13 seconds.
And not only do they retake the lead, they extend their lead now with 7:56 to go here in the third quarter. As they call upon their defense one more time to get a stop. Bender in the pistol, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Fakes the handoff, throws it out to the left side, and the catch is made. Kel Pennington in on the tackle along with Eric Harris.
That was Drake Spoon, the 6'1", 175 junior wide receiver, getting his first action of the night in the passing game for the Huskies.
So that'll be a 1st and 10, Edmond North at the Husky 46-yard line. Bender again in the pistol. Takes the snap. Hands the ball off. It's Carbs going to the outside. A flag comes flying in on the play. Tackle made on the far side of the field.
There's going to be a hold on the offense.
Roman Graham in on the tackle again. Again, Eric Harris and Kel Pennington.
Steve, you would love if the Owasso Ram defense could get off the field quickly here, get the offense back on the field. The Huskies are dog-tired on defense, no pun intended.
Yeah,
and
I see
you'd
Kel
love to.
Carbs coming off the field a little bit gimpy, and that would really hinder their running game.
No doubt.
This Ram defense has been swarming here in this third quarter. So it's going to be 1st and long now. Call it 18 yards. Ball back at the 38-yard line. Bender in the pocket. Pressure coming off the left side, but it's going to be a screen here to the near side. It's going to be Reeder with the reception. He gets about 7, maybe 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, again, real nice pursuit there by Cole Campbell coming in out of the secondary to pursue Reeder there, and Lyric Wheeler with the pressure on the quarterback once again, and that'll bring up, I think they just got, what,
7 yards
6
back,
or 7
so
yards?
call it 2nd and 11 at the Husky 45-yard line. Not a lot of urgency in this Husky huddle right now.
Yeah, really trying to slow things down.
Yes,
That's
they
what.
are.
That's kind of what got Owasso out of their rhythm in the first half.
Trips to the left side, and Bender's going to toss one up, and the receiver stopped. We're going to have a flag. I'm not sure why, because the receiver stopped.
Yeah, that was
Cal Reeder.
That ball was completely thrown away, and they're going to get Caleb Jones, I believe, on a pass interference. He had some Reeder jersey, but he threw that ball 5 yards out of bounds, Steve.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. As it is, that'll move the ball up into Owasso territory at the 45-yard line, as the Huskies now looking at a 2nd and 1. Again, just taking plenty of time. Clock has stopped as the referees are going to confer, make sure that they have the spot correct here.
Yeah, and again, Steve, as they talk this one over, Dwayne Jones, he had a bit of jersey, but that ball was completely thrown away out of bounds. I don't know how you can call that if the ball is thrown away.
So the umpire has gone from one referee to the other. Now he's going back to the original, and I think it was a spot situation, Jared. They have the ball at the Owasso 45-yard line. And they're going to move it up even further, okay? So that'll be enough for a 1st down for Edmond North as the ball is spotted at the Owasso 41-yard line.
So was it a pass interference instead of a hold?
I would say probably a hold. Never saw the indication, but they'll wind the clock. 6:15 to go.
Confusing situation. I wish these windows open so we could hear something.
As it is, 2 receivers out to the left. Bender in the pistol with Reeder to his right. Takes the snap, handoff to Reeder up the middle. He tries to get back to the outside, gets around the edge down to about the 32-yard line. Tackled out of bounds.
And a nice run by Reeder there on 1st down. Getting to the outside, finding the edge. And
gets about 8 yards on the play. Up to the Owasso 33-yard line. 2nd and 2. Boy, in Edmond North, they just really take the air out of the football.
Absolutely.
They have really slowed things down on this drive, trying to use as much clock as they can. Bender with 2 receivers out left.
You ever watch watercolor painting?
Yeah. Reeder in the backfield with Bender. He'll bring a runner across, hand off to Reeder right up the middle. He's going to be caught in the backfield by Hernandez. Also in the mix is Roman Graham. That'll be enough for the Husky 1st down as we are under 6 minutes here in this third period. Owasso 33, Edmond North 23, but the Huskies again putting together a drive. They haven't really, I say that, they haven't really put together a drive per se tonight. It's been long strikes, if you will.
It's been a whole lot of not moving the ball combined with some absolute fireworks.
Bender with 4 receivers out to the left. Hands the ball off up the middle to Reeder, and he's grabbed immediately by Taj Overton, Kel Pennington, and Hernandez in on the tackle once again. Lyric Wheeler coming up off the pile.
Taj Overton came in from behind, said, "No, sir, where are you going?" I don't think so, my friend.
Really like the energy the defense is playing with right now, trying to at least attack the football. Huskies tried to throw receivers out to the left side. Now they'll have 3 out to the left. Tight end on the right end of the line. Carbs is back in the backfield. He'll take the handoff, go off tackle on the right side. He's got room up the middle to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown Huskies. Kel Carbs with the long touchdown run as Edmond North responds with the big touchdown run.
Just a couple of missed tackles there by the line of scrimmage, Steve, and you got a head of steam downfield, and there's no stopping the big Carb.
So the extra point attempt coming up by McManus. Huskies not going away. Snap back, the hold is down, and the kick up. It's good with 4:42 to go. Here in this third quarter, the Huskies with a touchdown of their own pulled back to within 3. It's Owasso 33, Edmond North 30 here on your Owasso Sports Network.
Nice. Nice is the opposite of Monday. Nice lets you merge onto a crowded highway. Nice is Christian Brothers Automotive, where incredibly friendly people, extra clean service space, and a waiting courtesy car make all the difference. Drive into Christian Brothers for a brake or service check today. Keeping your family safe? Now that's nice. Christian Brothers Automotive. Nice difference.
For a nice difference, visit Ray Adcock at Christian Brothers Automotive in Owasso at 96th Street in Garnett.
We're back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth where the Edmond North Husky drive goes 7 plays for 65 yards in 3 minutes and 14 seconds, capped off by a 31-yard Cade Carbs touchdown run, his, I believe, second of the game. Check that, just his first of the game. But he's had a nice game on the ground. Cade Carbs coming in for the injured Dev Matthews, and it is a 3-point ball game here with 4:42 to play in the third quarter of action, brought to you by Jersey Mike's of Owasso.
Kickoff to the Rams goes out of the end zone once again. The strong north wind able to get the touchback as Owasso will bring their offense back out and start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 33-30, Rams with a 3-point lead, 4:42 to go. Here in this third quarter, Owasso came out with 2 quick touchdowns to retake the lead before Edmond North responded with that 65-yard, 7-play drive. Carbs with that 31-yard touchdown run, and Rams 1st and 10 at their own 20. Dyson, Maul to his left, hands the ball off to Maul, goes off right tackle, and he's going to be grabbed immediately. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play, as a lot of blue jerseys were in the vicinity for the tackle. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Clock continues to roll.
Really need the Rams offense to lay down on the gas here, go get another score.
Jakari Thomas is going to go left to right, takes the handoff. No, it's Dyson with the fake and runs up the middle to about the 27-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Another nice pull there from the quarterback, Knox Dyson, to get downhill 6 or 7 yards on the play and make this a manageable 3rd down opportunity.
3rd and 3. Dyson takes the snap, hands the ball off. Too much dancing around. Finally pops to the outside across the 30, to the 35, up to the 40, and knocked out of bounds over on the Ram bench.
Steve, I think
Jason
it was
Jason Maul once again.
The appropriate amount of dancing around because he was able to spring free there and spring his way to a First Bank of Owasso 1st down and 10.
Actually, that was Jaden Hall who had come into the ball game. Now Maul is going to re-enter for Owasso. 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Moving quickly. 2 receivers to the left. Hand off to Maul on the right side. He's got room up the middle, across the 50 into Husky territory, inside the 45-yard line, down to the 44 before he stopped. Moved the chains once again. Another First Bank of Owasso first down.
Well, Steve, Jason Maul is not a big guy. He's 5'7", 160 pounds. Once he gets ahead of steam, he is hard to bring down.
Very shifty. 2 tight ends in the game, 2 receivers to the left. The snap to Dyson, handoff to Maul. Looking to go up the middle, just dancing around. Breaks out to the outside to the 40, 30, down to the 25. Stiff arms a defender, and he's thrown over the side of the advertisements, if you will. He may have embellished that a bit, but he did it enough to draw 2 flags. That's going to move the ball down even further for the Owasso Rams. They're going to be in the red zone looking to try to score once again. Let's see how far they mark this off. That'll be a personal foul, late hit out of bounds against Edmond North. First down Rams.
I tell you what, Steve, my eyes keep going back to number 58, Elon Reagan. Just a freshman. He's having to come in a tough spot, and he's had a really nice game here tonight.
So they'll mark it 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Dyson with the snap, hands the ball off to Cecil Garrett. He's got room at the 10, runs hard down to about the 7-yard line. And again, we see the freshness. Cecil Garrett, he had 2 touchdowns late last week because they save him the whole first half, and then he comes in and gives Owasso yet another different dimension.
Well, and Garrett coming into tonight's game, he leads the Rams with 4 touchdowns on the ground coming into tonight. And really, this is kind of his first production, and that is such a luxury to have if you're the Rams.
Dyson hands off to Garrett. Runs to the outside, back to the inside, down to the 5, inside the 5 to the 4. And then a pile of humanity piles on top of Garrett. So he'll come out. 3rd and goal.
Oh, here we go.
Actually, 3rd and 2. So Chris Zafaris will come in to run the Wild Ram. Knox Dyson's going to run way out here to the left as a receiver. Zafaris takes the high snap, runs up the middle. He's going to push forward. He's going to be pulled back. May have gotten to about the 2-yard line, but that should be enough for a Ram first down.
Ooh, I don't know about that spot, Steve.
They marked him short.
Wow.
But I think this is Bill Blankenship go-for-it territory, and he's going to say leave the offense out on the field, run the Wild Ram. Takes the snap. Run to the right, Zafaris in the end zone, touchdown, Owasso Rams. You may have a chance once, but you typically don't twice. And
No,
Chris
sir, you
Zafaris
don't.
was not going to be denied that time.
I tell you what, Steve, the 4 horsemen have been workhorses tonight. 4 touchdowns on the ground for the Owasso Rams, and they're holding on, extending their lead to 9, trying to make it 10 right here. And the kick is good.
And it is good. Came on and kicked that quick.
No, it was ready to
go.
go.
Any time. 1:32 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Rams back with a 10-point lead, 40-30 over Edmond North. This is Owasso football on your Owasso Sports Network.
When it's time to celebrate a sweet Owasso Ram victory, nothing will do quite like nothing but cakes. From personal buntlets to individual buntinis for the entire team, you'll discover a bunt load of flavor for every occasion. Visit Nothing Bunt Cakes in Owasso, located in the Smith Farm Marketplace. Nothing Bunt Cakes, proud supporter of Owasso Athletics.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. That's State Farm agent Casey Miller scoring drive for the Owasso Rams, going 9 plays, 80 yards in 3 minutes and 10 seconds, capped off by a 3-yard touchdown by none other than Chris Zafaris, who has picked up 2 TDs here tonight for the Owasso Rams, part of a 4-touchdown performance so far on the ground for the Rams. Hey, Steve Mowry, you know what next week is?
Well, we'll be back home. I know you're going to tell me.
It's FOR night, baby. Future Owasso Rams in action. Pre-game, be sure to show up to Owasso Stadium early as we celebrate our future Owasso Rams. Love it. It's going to be a great night at Owasso Stadium as we celebrate FOR night as the Rams take on the Yukon Millers.
Come watch the mini Rams run out onto the field. It's a highlight. So the high onside was actually fumbled and recovered at the 18-yard line. And on the first play, the handoff to Carbs is smothered up. Trey Hall, Lyric Wheeler. Trey Hall, he's got the dance down.
The Rams are getting up. They've got the football. I think they said maybe he was down.
Taj Overton in the play again.
I'll tell you what, Steve. If Trey Hall had brought that kind of energy to Mr. Owasso last night, he would have won hands down.
Walked away with it.
But I do have to give a shout-out to our boy Cole Baker, Mr. Chick-fil-A, getting it done, dancing the ballet in the Chick-fil-A cow outfit. Oh, it was a sight to see. A lot of fun. All supporting Owasso Varsity Palm. It was a great night.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Bender hands the ball off to Carbs going off the left side, and he's going to be caught from behind. Trey Hall once again in on the tackle. And the Rams defensive line really doing an outstanding job here tonight.
Yeah, again, giving up less than 2 yards per carry in the first half. I know they gave up that big run on that last play, Steve, as we are nearing the end of the third quarter.
And Edmond North is going to be content to let this run out as the play clock, well, I say that, and then they line up. They may need to run one more play. Bender, now they're trying to draw the Rams offside. That does not work, and they will let this run out, and we have finished 3 quarters of play, but the Owasso Rams put 3 touchdowns on the board in that third quarter as they take a 40-30 lead over Edmond North. We head to the fourth quarter. This is Ram football on 100.1 KYFM.
As Owasso's hometown community bank, First Bank of Owasso is a proud supporter of the Owasso Rams. Nearly 30% of its employees are Owasso High School alumni, and they are ready to serve you and your banking needs. First Bank of Owasso is in Owasso, for Owasso, and has been since 1962. First Bank of Owasso, member FDIC.
Keith 2, your hometown insurance agency here in Owasso, proudly supports our Owasso Rams and expect another great season. We at Hometown Insurance love to win. We love our current and future clients, and we love our community. This year, we won the Best in the Burbs, and we couldn't have done this without you, Owasso. Contact me, Keith 2, at OwassoInsuranceGuy.com. Go Rams!
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth. We are headed to the fourth quarter of action, brought to you by Brew Coffee House in Owasso. Enjoy handcrafted coffee creations with Brew Coffee on Highway 20. Mention your Ram Pride and enjoy $1 off your order the next day after every Owasso Ram victory, only with Brew Coffee in Owasso. The Rams trying to get that $1 off here tonight with a 10-point lead over the Edmond North Huskies.
As the Huskies come back out onto the field, looking at 3rd and 8 from their own 20-yard line, now going right to left into the wind. Bender takes the snap in the pocket, looking downfield. He's going to loft one up high. This one's going to float, and Dickman was the intended receiver, but great coverage that time. Once again, Eric Harris with that catch-up speed, that make-up speed, and able to knock the ball away once again. And now, Jared, Edmond North forced into a 4th and long from their 20 in a most probable punting situation here into a strong wind. Noah Hill at the 50-yard line. If he's able to field this and get a return, the Rams are going to have a short field if he doesn't take it all the way.
And again, a nice job by Eric Harris getting back in coverage there. He was beat by 4 or 5 yards and was able to use that closeout speed. In fact, got there a little bit early, some incidental contact.
Yeah, it was close.
But, you know, as they're throwing into the wind, you're not going to get that call every time.
So the punt is up. It's a short one, so we may not have an opportunity. Actually, it's shanked over here again to the near side. He only got about 12 yards net out of that punt.
I'll tell you what, Steve. We've seen one really, really good punt, about 70 yards with the roll, and we've seen 4 or 5 really not great punts out of this Husky team. And some great field position here for the Rams as they set up shop at the Husky 45-yard line as we get started here, and we will go over the third quarter numbers here whenever we have a moment.
As the Rams come back out on the field, I'll give you one of my fondest punt moments in Owasso Edmond North history. There's a run up the middle and across the 35-yard line. It's going to be enough for a First Bank of Owasso first down. With the rotation going on here, that's Jaden Hall.
And Steve, we have
back in the game.
Breaking news, by the way, and I apologize for interrupting, but our students are out finally of the elevator.
They've been rescued.
They've been rescued after an entire quarter of being stuck in the elevator.
They deserve a pizza. Dyson in the pocket, pressure off the left side. He's going deep. He's got a receiver in the end zone, but unable to come down with it is Deuce Chalk. Again, that ball got caught up in the wind just a bit and carried over the head, or it's another touchdown.
Yeah, and he really had 2 options there.
So, Jared, these two teams have met one time in playoffs, and that was back in 2003, but it was when they played over at UCO. As the Rams line up quickly, I'll finish that story. Knocks Dyson in the pistol, gets the handoff, and caught quickly for a gain of maybe 1 on the play. Ball will be down at the 35-yard line, but Drew Edmiston, I don't know if you remember my buddy Drew. He used to work for me at the funeral home, but Drew, a big, tall, good kid, good-looking kid, and he was a good punter and a good kicker. Went on to be a place kicker at Louisiana Lafayette, but we're playing Edmond North over at UCO, and he punts the football up on a foggy night. As Dyson gets ready to take this snap, he looks over to the sideline. But it was so foggy that when the ball went up in the air, I remember telling our audience, I have no idea where that football went. You couldn't see it. And somehow the punt returner was able to catch it. I go, have no idea how he caught that punt. Dyson back in the pocket. He's got room to run on the left side, runs back into the inside, trucks a defender. He's going to be close to a Ram first down at the 26-yard line. We've got an injured Edmond North Husky on the field.
Yeah, and he is down. He's out cold, Steve.
Well, so we'll take a break away from the action while they tend to the injured player. 10:26 to go here in our ball game. It's a 10-point lead for the Rams, 40-30 over Edmond North. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to employee training. We've got a very special guest. Rambo has joined us. First up is how to greet clients. May I please have a volunteer? Come on. Could you please demonstrate how you greet a client coming into the bank?
Sure. Welcome to First Bank of Owasso. It's not good. Bigger. Welcome to First Bank of Owasso. Bigger. Welcome to First Bank of Owasso. Welcome to First Bank of Owasso. Really? You don't think that's a little over the top?
Alrighty, Rambo, thank you for that. Moving on to phone etiquette. May I please have another volunteer? Anyone? Another volunteer? Volunteer? No volunteers?
High school, way back in 2003, whenever that happened, 20 years ago this year, and I remember going over. That was back when we brought the band over here, the full band over here, and at Little Wantland Stadium, I guess you could call it.
Well, that's right. It wasn't really as massive as it is now.
Yeah, Little Wantland Stadium, and you're right. That's the only thing I remember about that game was how the fog set in, and boy, from our side, you couldn't see the press box. You couldn't see where you guys were.
And Drew was a good punter as well as place kicker, and he kicked the ball so high. I remember it looked like it went up into the clouds before it came down. And half the game you couldn't see. I remember doing that game with Jeff Bowen, and that's one of the few times. These two teams have met one time in the playoffs. That was with head coach Ron Smith. And we lost that game 24-14 in a game that, of course, I always think the Rams should win.
Right.
But they should have won that game. Edmond North, in their history, has never made it past the quarterfinals. They've had 15 playoff appearances. But unfortunately, and as I read how they were ousted from playoffs, most of the time it was by a West Side ball club. They either ran into Union, Broken Arrow, Jinx, or Owasso. They beat the Owasso Rams that one time, but otherwise they have not fared well.
Yeah, well, they got a good golf program.
That's in basketball.
Steve, we'll take a look at the third quarter numbers as we continue to tend to the injured Husky. The Owasso Rams, all in through three quarters, 37 rushes for 315 yards through the ground. That's a tremendous effort on the ground game here tonight. Knox Dyson, 10 of 19 for 176 yards, a touchdown and an interception. That's 491 yards of offense through three quarters for the Owasso Rams. For the Huskies, 32 rushes for 86 yards, 7 of 18 passing for 232 yards. That's 318 all in for the Edmond North Huskies. And another big note, Steve, as we talk about our Restoration Hardware second half adjustment, Restoration Hardware, our Restoration Chiropractic. Sorry, Dr. Bryce and Dr. Alley. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we're so close to the weekend.
Screws in your back.
Dr. Bryce and Dr. Alley at Restoration Chiropractic.
There we go.
The second half adjustment, the Rams, just one penalty in the third quarter. So it was a costly one, but one penalty in the third quarter. And for 9 penalties, 96 yards, and the Edmond North Huskies, 8 penalties for 70 yards.
Wild Rams, Ferris runs off the right side. They can't be stopped as he'll get enough for an Owasso Ram, First Bank of Owasso first down. The injured player for Edmond North able to walk off the field under his own ability, R.L. Young. But I don't know that he'll return to the game as he looked a bit wobbly as they brought him over here to the tent. First and 10 Rams inside the 25-yard line. Now Jakari Thomas running to the right side. Stiff arms a defender. Gets across the 25-yard line down to about the 23. Owasso moving quickly once again with this 10-point lead. Trying to add another touchdown as we're under 10 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Two receivers out to the far left. Maul with the handoff right up the middle and then breaks to the left, tries to cut back inside, spin move down inside the 10-yard line. What a run by Jason Maul.
I tell you what, Steve, I've been trying to find the best qualifier for a guy like Jason Maul. I think it's a spinning top.
Yeah.
Because he has such good awareness, hand-eye coordination. I mean, he's like Barry Sanders sometimes, the way he can move his hips. Looks like he might be down, and he's able to just pop back up and keep going.
Now Jaden Hall in the game. He'll take a handoff, and he'll be met in the backfield for no gain as he's going to be wrestled down to the ground. And this Ty Watts in on the tackle that time.
This is an and goal situation here, Steve. So Rams now 12 yards to punch it in.
Second down and goal. Two receivers out to the left. Chalk and Thomas is the slot receiver. Dyson looks quick over to Chalk, coming inside. He makes the catch inside the 5, fighting, but he's going to be stopped at about the 2-yard line before he's pushed back and tackled. But that was a nice, strong catch by the senior Deuce Chalk. And the Rams are in business here on third down. They'll spot the ball at the 3-yard line. Wild Ram coming up. Chris Zafaris in the game. Takes the snap, runs to the right, and crashes into the end zone. Touchdown, Owasso Rams.
Simply unstoppable, Steve.
No answer for that here tonight.
None at all. Chris Zafaris, his third touchdown on the ground tonight. 5th touchdown on the ground for the Rams, and they're starting to pull away here with 8:16 to play in the ballgame.
The extra point attempt pending. Zach Duffield, the long snapper. Cavanis with the hold, and the kick is up. And it's good with 8:15 to go here in our ball game. The Rams with their biggest lead of the night, 47-30 over Edmond North. This is Ram Football on your Owasso Sports Network.
My name is Warren Lear. We've lived in Owasso 24 years. Zach Harbaugh and Duralast Roofing replaced our roof a couple of years ago, and it was an easy decision for me. Zach is a guy who's mature, service-oriented, shows up with a smile, makes it easy for you. It was seamless. In a couple days, they had fully replaced the roof. I have a beautiful roof that does not leak, has no problems, still holding up well a couple of years later. I couldn't recommend Zach Harbaugh and Duralast Roofing any more highly.
Duralast Roofing Specialists is proud to earn back-to-back Best in the World honors as voted by Tulsa World Readers. Contact Duralast Roofing Specialists today at 918-906-7800. That's 918-906-7800.
We're back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive broadcast booth where the Rams have a 17-point lead here in the fourth quarter of action as Noah Hill kicks this one off, and it goes well into the end zone for the Owasso Rams. Steve, we got to give some shout-outs here. Chris Harris, Director of Bands for the Pride of Owasso, listening in. They are headed to Union next week for a competition and then off to Orlando, Florida for regional action. Pride of Owasso, best of luck to them. And head coach of the Owasso Ram basketball team, Brian Montanati, checking in from Colorado Springs, Colorado, where he and his son, Jalen, who will be a sophomore on the team this year, are at Team USA Junior Training Camp.
Oh, wow.
And Johnny Dash waves hello from across the booth. And the Rams with a 17-point lead here in the fourth quarter, feeling better.
Bender with the snap, hands off to Carbs. He tries to run off the left side, and there is a group of Rams there. Larry Queeler along with Jones and Kel Pennington once again.
Steve, that State Farm agent Casey Miller scoring drive goes 10 plays, 45 yards in 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Jason Mall now 19 rushes for 144 yards in the game today. A great performance from the sophomore here tonight.
Outstanding. Gain of 3 on the play brings up second and 6. Bender fakes the handoff, spins, rolls out to his right, looking downfield, good coverage, looking underneath, good coverage, and then throws the ball out of bounds.
Wow.
But I believe that fell incomplete. Great coverage there underneath by Langendorfer.
Yeah, and Eric Harris there, the entire secondary there, they had 4 options rolling off to the right side, and none of them were open.
No.
That was tremendous coverage in the secondary, and, man.
And they had to hold that a long time as
definitely.
Bender extended the play, rolling out to his right, but just great coverage by the Rams secondary. So 3rd and 7 coming up. 3 receivers out to the right, 2 to the left, empty backfield for Bender. Now he'll bring a man in motion. They'll just toss it to Dickman, and he's going to be hit immediately. Lyric Wheeler almost met Dickman in the backfield that time.
And they were looking for the reverse there, Steve. It was Jace Lakin was coming across the near side, and the Rams front 7 just able to blow that one up very quickly.
Yeah, not the Huskies aren't given the protection that they had early on. This Ram defensive line has really put pressure on the offensive line and Bender here in the second half. Now trips to the left, 2 receivers right. Empty backfield, and the Rams jump offside. You had to know that was coming on 4th down, so that'll not be enough for a first down. It'll be about 4th and 1. But again, critical penalties and several on 4th down here tonight.
Yeah, really, and that gets the Rams over 100 yards in penalties here tonight. Definitely
so that
something
keeps
gonna
the
have
streak
to clean up.
alive.
Keeps the streak alive, I guess.
Yeah.
Streak you don't necessarily want to keep alive, but hey, shout out Rick Lang listening in from Chi-Town here tonight. We're all over the nation here tonight. We appreciate everybody tuning in here to some Owasso Ram football.
4th and 1, handoff up the middle, and the Rams blow it up in the backfield. Carbs does not get there. Kel Pennington was there first. Larry Queeler comes in, and then finishing it off is Taj Overton, and the Rams will take over on downs as Edmond North fails to convert the 4th down.
Yeah, Colson Allen coming in as well. Swarming defense from the Owasso Rams, trying to close this one out here with an exclamation point. To get that $1 off at Brew Coffee House tomorrow. Come on, Rams.
6:31 to go here in this 4th quarter. Ram offense comes back out on the field. Cecil Garrett's got room out to the left side. He's down to the 15. That's going to be enough for a Ram first down as they'll move the chains.
Oh, Paul Croft listening in. Spiro, Oklahoma.
Tyler Cavanis has come in at quarterback. Cecil Garrett on that last run. You know, in his limited action, he really gives the Rams a spark, as we saw last week and again here tonight. Cavanis in the pistol, hands the ball off to Garrett again, trying to go left. He's got a little bit of room, cuts back inside, down to the 10, close to the 9.
That was great patience there by Garrett to let that play develop, get his block set up. Just kind of standing in the backfield, waiting for that play to get set up, and he was able to move forward for 5 yards on first down.
Now Zafaris will come in at running back. Rams taking their time, letting the clock roll as we're down to 5:30 here in our ball game. Cavanis hands off to Zafaris, bumps into the back of his right tackle, and then runs left inside. Gain of maybe 3, possibly 4 on the play. That'll bring up third, and we'll call it 3. It's been all Owasso Rams in this second half. Those restoration chiropractic adjustments
That's right, baby.
have come through here tonight.
And we appreciate them for it.
Zafaris to the left of Cavanis, takes the handoff again. He's going to run hard. He's got some room up the middle. He sees the end zone. Touchdown, Owasso Rams. Chris, you can't stop him, Zafaris, with another touchdown here tonight.
Zesty.
I'm telling you, the guy likes to run over people.
Holy cow, Steve. 4 touchdowns tonight for Chris Zafaris.
Going to be hard to deny him that offensive player of the game.
Yeah. I tell you what, as the kick is up and good for the Rams, Steve, as we talk about that, we're going to have some time to discuss that because honestly, the 4 horsemen of the Owasso Rams have put on a clinic here tonight, and that couldn't happen without a strong push up front from those big boys up on the offensive line.
4:38 to go here in our ball game, as we'll keep it right here. Team's not taking much time to switch out. The Rams are going to kick off. They now lead 54-30. As the tide has turned here in the second half. Questions that we had at halftime, too many penalties. What's happening here? Too many fourth down conversions that we were given the other ball club. Man, it's like 2 different teams here in this ball game from first half to second half.
It really, really is, Steve, and you love to see those adjustments coming here in the second half. You'd really like to see that, happen in the first half so you don't have to sweat so much at halftime. But nonetheless, it looks like the Rams are going to get out of here with a victory, now with a 24-point lead over the Huskies.
Long kick, fielded at the 11-yard line, out to the 20, the 25, and then drilled down from behind. Actually just dragged down from behind. Let's see who that was. Cole Campbell down on special teams making a tackle, the freshman.
I tell you, he's had a nice night here tonight, Cole Campbell.
Yes, like what we're seeing out of him and the growth that we're getting from him. What do you got?
Oh, Dr. Bryce.
Uh-oh.
Giving me a hard time.
Oh, boy.
Said they're now partnering with Home Depot to offer all of your restoration hardware needs. Appreciate that, Dr. Bryce. Yeah. I'm going to get double adjustments this week.
Huskies back out on the field. Handoff. And crashed. On the right side, the handoff to the right side, somebody's excited to be in there. It was Hudson Hodges who came in and met the running back head on. I'm sorry I couldn't see the numbers immediately, but it was a collision. It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
You think he's ready to get in some action?
As we approach 4 minutes here in this fourth quarter, Bender in the pistol. Reeder takes the handoff, puts the ball on the ground, and is able to jump on it. There were 4 Rams in the area, but Reeder was able to jump on the football. It was loose and in the open there for just a moment.
Steve, for those that are following along, that last scoring drive for the Rams, 4 plays, 27 yards in under 2 minutes, capped off by the 8-yard Chris Zafaris touchdown run, his 4th of the evening. That scoring drive, once again, brought to you by State Farm agent Casey Miller in Owasso.
Bender taking his time. Reeder to his left. 3 receivers out to the right. Bender goes back in the pocket. He's got a receiver wide open here on the near side, but no, as coming over and tipping it away, I believe that was Cole Campbell once again.
Yeah.
It looked like the receiver. That's how the safety plays, Jared.
Yeah.
You got the safety over the top, and Cole Campbell was able to read that. The ball was thrown into this wind.
Absolutely.
And Campbell made a great break on the football to knock it away.
And I got to tell you, too, Cole Campbell playing with a club on his left hand.
Or he may have caught that.
Yeah, he may have very well picked that one off. I think the last time I saw that was Bryce Pacheco scooping up a fumble with a club on his hand back in 2007.
Punt was almost blocked, but again kicked out of bounds in front of the Edmond North bench, as the Rams will take over 1st and 10 at the Husky 35-yard line with 3:06 to go here in this 4th period. Owasso 54, Edmond North 30. Rams will be back at home next week as they welcome the Yukon Millers, another team that Owasso has historically had good success.
FOR night.
FOR night.
Super pumped.
You're stoked for that, aren't you?
Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, man. It is fun. It's fun to watch those little guys' eyes
It
light up
really
when they're
is,
in.
man.
I mean, yeah. Oh, high snap to Cavanis. He pulls it down, looks to throw left. Now he's going to run up the middle, and then he decides just to go down. That's probably a good, safe play by the senior quarterback.
Smart call by Tyler Cavanis there. Under 3 minutes, no reason to compound any issues after the high snap, and Rams is trying to get out of here with a happy, healthy 24-point victory.
Any late scores from Stillwater?
I have tried not to check.
You were happy with the last one and didn't want to mess it up. I understand.
Happy with that.
Cavanis, 2nd and 12 for Owasso. Just inside the Husky 40-yard line. Takes the snap, hands the ball off to Garrett. He's got room on the right side, but he gets drugged down from behind. So short gain on the play. Tackle made there by Jace Whitefield.
Steve, 4 of these guys last night competing in the Mr. Owasso pageant. Wyatt Eaton, Dwayne Jones, Trey Hall, and Mr. Uno, Jakari Thomas. A great night. Cole Baker getting the victory, Mr. Chick-fil-A, and a shout-out to our friend Shannon Roosh. She put on a tremendous show from the back of the house last night. It was a lot of fun.
3rd down, high snap. Zafaris with the ball, and he just runs up the middle, and he bulls his way down near the 30-yard line. And again, Jared, I just really like the dynamic that he brings, not just in that wild ram, but just his running style, because he's just built so hard to try to get a good grip on, and he runs over people. I mean, he comes in with some power.
He's built kind of like a little Jaworski Lane, and he's got some serious power. And it looks like Noah Hill's going to come in for the punt, try to pin him deep here with a minute to play.
Probably kick this out of the end zone with this wind. Let's see if he gets it up. Well, he's able to get it up high. Let's see if the Rams can cover it. Don't give up on it, and he kicks it into the end zone as that goes out of the back for a touchback. Appreciate everyone listening to us here tonight. A little bit of a rocky start, but the Rams able to reel things back in.
Hey, anytime you got to drive down the old Turner Turnpike here, it takes a little bit of time to get those legs stretched out. You and I know that very well, all too well. And
you know what we did not see on the way down here this time?
What's that?
Orange barrels.
Yeah.
The orange barrels,
that's definitely the reason we got down here in about 45 minutes, Steve.
Mean, that's the state emblem of Oklahoma is the orange barrel.
It is. It's really nice to have that turnpike wide open, and it'll be a nice drive back home for the Owasso
for the
Rams
most
here
part,
tonight.
it seems like the entire town of Owasso is under road construction right now.
Yeah. Got me driving out to Stone Canyon to get to Tulsa.
Yeah. 57 seconds left to go in this game as Bender will hand off, and a great hit in the backfield. These guys coming in varsity action are not giving up here at the end of the game, as the Huskies probably run one more play.
Gavin Kreider getting in on some of the action here tonight. Inside 30 seconds to play, and the Rams are going to take this one after this snap.
Final handoff of the game, and the tackle made over on the far side. Try to get those young men's names listed there.
Yeah, Hunter Mark Sperry in on the action there.
Carter Kaufman.
Yeah, and Ashton Smith.
And that's going to be the final play of the ball game, as the Rams will put another victory on the board as the teams meet at midfield, as the 000 hits the clock. It's Owasso 54, Edmond North 30. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, come back to the number. Owasso Ram victory here on 100.1 KYFM.
At Jersey Mike's, they slice your order fresh right in front of you. And let me tell you, watching that can send a rush of emotions through a person. Excitement, impatience, baby-like wonder, indecisive, anticipatory chewing, nerves pacing, happy claps, and finally, jealousy, because that's this guy's sub. I should order one. Good idea. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Guide your student toward financial empowerment and self-reliance with a free student account at Communication Federal. It's a credit union account made for teens and tweens with a free Visa debit card, no account fees, a free ATM network, and plenty of real-world branches nearby. With CFCU student accounts, mom or dad can easily manage it all from the app or online banking. Open a free student checking account from Communication Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply, subject to credit union approval, federally insured by NCUA.
When it comes to supporting the Owasso community, nobody does it like State Farm agent Casey Miller. For the last 5 years, Casey has been a good neighbor to Owasso families with affordable insurance and friendly service, even when the unexpected happens. Bundle your auto, home, and life insurance for even more savings. And be sure to say hello when you see her out supporting the Rams and Lady Rams this season. Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Casey Miller is there.
Guys, I wanted to share some positive news about the current home market. I recently ran into my buddy James Duggar at American Bank of Oklahoma Mortgage Group in Owasso, and I asked, what's going on if you're a home buyer? He said interest rates have inched up, but home prices are starting to go down, and sellers are willing to negotiate. That's great news for those with buyer fatigue, and James will walk you through the mortgage process to land that perfect home. Call James at 918-698-1614 or stop by American Bank of Oklahoma's Mortgage Group at 86th and Main in Owasso.
Welcome back inside the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth, where the Owasso Rams take this one 54-30 over the Edmond North Huskies. The Rams improving to 4-2 on the season and 2-1 in district play. This is the Waterstone Dry Cleaning postgame show, from team jerseys to letter jackets and everything in between. Visit Waterstone Dry Cleaning at the corner of 96th Street and Garnett to look your best both on and off the field. Jared Gallagher and Steve Mowry with you here in the Christian Brothers Automotive Broadcast booth. And Steve, the Owasso Rams outscoring the Edmond North Huskies 34-7 in the second half to get this one and pull away in somewhat comfortable fashion here late.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't start out the way we wanted it to start out. Edmond North did what they had to do, and we talked in the pregame, wanted a fast start by Owasso, thought we got it, but then kind of let loose of it for a little bit, and Edmond North got the momentum going in at halftime. And, you know, there's always concerns when you're dealing with the psyche of young men like this, how they're going to respond when they come back out in the second half. But, man, coaches really got their ball club's attention as Owasso just dominated this second half, primarily on the ground with just some crushing runs. And Chris Zafaris coming in the game in that wild ram, that was really The Huskies had absolutely no answer for that. Sometimes 1 yard, sometimes 2. But anytime it's 5 yards or under, that play is almost automatic.
Yeah, absolutely. The Rams getting it done on the ground here tonight. Chris Safaris leading the way with 4 touchdowns on the ground. The Rams with 7 on the night. When's the last time the Owasso Rams had 7 touchdowns on the ground?
Have to look up at the books.
We'll have to look it up. And as we wait on our final game stats, just some streaks of note to update here tonight. That is the 64th win overall in the Bill Blankenship era over since 2017. He is 64-17, 37-8 all-time in the district, 25-2 in the month of October, 42-3 over schools on the west side of the state of Oklahoma, and 7-0 over the Edmond North Huskies. And again, it wasn't looking super pretty early as the Huskies had a 3-point lead at halftime, 23-20 over the Rams. But the Rams, outside of a long 31-yard touchdown run by Carbs, their third string, really, running back, who is a tight end, 6'3", 235-pound tight end, the Rams shutting out the Edmond North Huskies effectively outside of that in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams just did a really good job of trying to shut that down outside of those big 3 pass plays. Certainly have some things that I know coaches will want to go back and look at film and make some adjustments on that. But, man, just a great defensive effort, particularly in the second half. You could feel the energy, the way the Rams were coming out. And again, Jared, we talked about this before. It's the difference between playing on your heels and playing on your toes. When the Rams come out with that aggressive energy, they really they play violently with the other team, and they just tackle better and get each other fired up. So it's pretty exciting to watch the defense when they play like this.
As we look at the final numbers here from tonight's game, the Rams with 23 first downs on the night, 52 rushes for 385 yards on the ground.
Wow.
Knox Dyson 11 of 21 through the air for 183 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. That is 73 plays for 568 yards. Rams had 1 fumble. They lost that fumble. 10 penalties, as we mentioned, for 101 yards. Still something the Rams have got to clean up there. 23 minutes and 25 seconds of possession, 5 of 12 on third downs, and a big 3 of 4 on fourth down conversions. As we look at Edmond North, they had 13 first downs, includes 3 in the second half. So again, just shutting down Edmond North's offense in the second half. They had 34 rushes for 83 yards. There were 7 of 21 passing for 232 yards. And I'll have to look back. I think he had 215 yards through the air at halftime. So is that correct, Rob? Yeah. He had 215 yards through the air at halftime and finished with 232 yards through the air. So he had 17 yards passing in the second half. That's 60 plays for 315 yards. And this is huge, Steve. 5 of those plays went for 235 yards. So the other 55 offensive snaps went for 80 total yards for the Huskies. That's great defense by the Rams. 2 fumbles, and they didn't lose either of them, but they had 8 penalties for 70 yards. They were 1 of 11 on third downs and 2 of 3 on fourth down conversions. Some great numbers individually for the Owasso Rams. Jason Mall, 19 attempts for 144 yards through the on the ground, if you will. Jaden Hall, 7 attempts for 85 yards, 3 touchdowns. Chris Safaris, 10 rushes, 44 yards, 4 touchdowns. And Knox Dyson, 9 for 79 yards on the ground. As we mentioned, Knox Dyson, 11 of 21 for 183 yards through the air. So nearly 300 yards of offense for Knox Dyson. Receiving the ball, Deuce Chalk, 3 receptions, 47 yards and a touchdown. Drew Hogan, 5 receptions, all coming in the first half for 54 yards. Hall, 1 reception for 2 yards, and Jakari Thomas, 2 receptions for 80 yards. Also Cecil Garrett in on the ground game. 5 rushes for 27 yards. All of those big-time rushes coming late in the second half. And quickly for Edmond North, Norman had 4 attempts for 13 yards on the ground. Carbs, 13 attempts for 69 yards and a touchdown. And Reeder had 11 attempts for 19 yards. Price Bender through the air, 7 of 21 passing for 232 yards and 3 touchdowns. Lakin, 2 receptions, 105 yards and 1 touchdown. Baker, 2 receptions for 42 yards and a touchdown. Dickman, 1 reception for 68 yards and a touchdown. Spoon, a reception for 11 yards. And Reeder, 1 reception for 6 yards. Those are your numbers here tonight. Steve, time to look at our offensive and defensive players of the game.
Well, I think first offensively, another great night by Knox Dyson, 11 of 21, 183 yards, and then also 79 yards on the ground. But the couple of the guys that really stand out to me here tonight is Jalen Mall, 19 carries for 144 yards. But, Jared, I just don't know how you can take the offensive player of the game away from a guy that hits the end zone with 4 touchdowns. Chris Ferris, not only did he score 4 touchdowns, but the fourth down, third down, fourth down conversions that he makes, and just the way that play runs, it reminds me of the new play that Philadelphia and the NFL is starting to embrace. They don't run it like that, but I'm just saying the unstoppability of that play.
Absolutely.
And he is certainly a weapon. And the thing with Zafaris, if somebody does break through and hit him, they're going to have to hit him just right and pretty good to stop, because his momentum is running downfield. He likes to hit people. He can take the contact. And so tonight, those 4 touchdowns, hard to take it away from a guy who reached pay dirt 4 times in the game.
Yeah, Chris Ferris, our offensive player of the game here tonight. And, Steve, defensively, my thought is the second half should be the defensive player of the game.
Yeah.
Because the entire team made a complete 180-degree about-face from the first half of action, and just did a tremendous job of adjusting in the second
They all
half.
did a fantastic job. I mean, I can't pull anybody off the board, but a couple of guys that stand out, Isaac Ashman. I mean, I thought he was in on a lot of plays in the first half when it seemed like the defense just couldn't quite find that final stopping moment. And then also Eric Harris. I mean, he got put out on an island, got burned once or twice, but, man, he made some plays that really kept the Rams from getting burnt even worse. His makeup speed and makeup ability is just phenomenal, and you can see why he's one of the top cover guys on this Ram defense. But also defensive line in the second half. My goodness, the pressure and the energy, the way that they tackled in that second half as well. I mean, that was what the game changer was. It all starts up front. You got the guys like, Trey Hall, Roman Graham, Dwayne Jones, Taj Overton. Those guys really making a mess up front, and they feed off one another. When one does it, the other one thinks, hey, I've got to do it too. And when they start that, they really shut down the Husky offense.
Yeah, absolutely. As we quickly look at some scores from around Class 6A, Edmond Memorial defeating UConn, our opponent next week, 42-28 here tonight. Mustangs still trying to get in it with Edmond Santa Fe, 56-49. Mustang trails the what are they? The Wolves, Santa Fe Wolves? I think that's what they are.
Yes. Timberwolves.
Yeah, Moore finishing off Southmore 45-0, and Bixby 79-7 final over Enid. Good job by Enid getting on the scoreboard. There's 65-0 Union over Norman. And that'll do it for our games tonight in Class 6A. That leaves us, Steve, as we head into that UConn game with the Mowry Funeral Service final word.
Well, like what the Rams did in the second half here tonight, the one thing about the first half where they didn't play their best is they were able to overcome that adversity. Don't like to see them put themselves in that position, but I sure like to see them when they do put themselves in that position to not get their heads down and to come back out and to completely dominate. I mean, you talk about going from one end of the spectrum to the other. We saw that here tonight. Like to clean up the turnovers a little bit and get some takeaways as we move on into this schedule. Hard to believe we've already finished 6 games here into the season, and hopefully they can continue this trend not only through UConn next week, but also through the end of the season.
54-30 is your final score here tonight from Husky Stadium on the campus of Edmond North High School. Rams improving to 4-2 on the season and 2-1, more importantly, in district play. Quickly, Steve, before I let you close it out, good luck to Owasso Lady Ram Volleyball next week, competing in regionals at Owasso, by the way.
Yeah.
I believe all on Tuesday. So come out and support Owasso Lady Ram Volleyball. We'll get those times. Be sure to check Owasso Athletics for that. Lady Ram softball going to state next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully by this time next week, we'll be talking about them sleeping on a potential state championship berth.
Yeah.
Those games happening at Shawnee, and then the state championship game happening in Norman. Cross country doing a great job. Pride of Owasso doing a great job. Cheer already won a state title this year. So, and then I know Palm as well is going into their competition season in, I believe, November. So just good luck all around to everybody, and it's going to be a very special year for Owasso Rams and Lady Rams.
Going to be a lot of fun next week. Owasso back home, take on the Yukon Millers. That'll be a 7:30 start time. And again, want you to come out and watch this ball club. They're exciting, fun to watch. Some young players. They get up and down the field. Scored 55 points last week, and then come in tonight and put 54 on the board. So you'll get your money's worth if you come out to the ball game. So certainly appreciate you listening to us here tonight. I want to thank Dave Waddell back in the studio for making us sound so good. Rob Williams with the numbers, always keeping us up to speed on down distance and what's going on in that regard. Brock Crawford with the Owasso Sports Network, bringing you the live stream, and we can keep kids from getting stuck on the elevator here in Edmond. For my wingman, Jared Gallagher, I'm Steve Mowry. This has been another Owasso Ram victory here tonight at Edmond North, where they defeat the Huskies 54-30. Join us next week back home in Owasso as they host the Yukon Millers. Have a great night, everyone.